Welcome. We were going to look at Freeman video that just released. I think it's one of the Freeman people who did it for him. There we go.
Today we're headed to Visalia, California. From their website, Visalia is nestled in the foothills below the majestic Sierra Nevada and is the gateway to both Sequoia and Kings National Parks and is home to California's most brutal police canine handling. Wait, what? That can't be right. Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. It's Rob, and I'm one of the Freeman people.
It's the Freeman people.
This story was sent to us a few days ago by YouTuber All Things Cali 626. Their channel link is in the description below. According to a lawsuit resulting from this incident, which is currently in the district court of Eastern California, on October 20th, 2020, Ms. Keys, mother of Mr. Gutierrez, a 21-year-old man who suffers from paranoid schizophrenia, called for emergency assistance to take her son to the hospital for immediate mental health treatment. Dispatch
I've seen this.
6 police officers to the scene, including Officer Sean Schiebelhood and his canine partner.
Tasing him is not going to help. He needs medical attention.
Okay, this is for my protection, though. He threw trash cans at me.
Okay.
This is for my protection. This is for self-defense. If he comes at me, I will. But I'm not advancing on him. Okay?
He is a schizophrenic.
I got it. I'm trying to talk
Okay,
him down.
well, put your gun down.
No.
Or your taser.
If you don't back up, I'm going to arrest you. Back up. Back up. Go all the way back to that white car. Back up. Get back to that car.
Oh, no, I'm the one that called you guys. I've dealt with you before.
Please get back, please. I know. We don't want to tase him right there. Okay?
This is horrible. This is truly horrible. Hey, Joko, what's up? The thumbnail? Yeah.
This one's not even, I don't even think it's phone. Oh, that is not necessary. Jordan, put the phone down.
If anything, they're just gonna take them and just, make sure.
Take your phone out. Jordan, put your phone down, son. Hey! 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 Hey!
Yeah. Hit him right in the face.
Less than 30 seconds from the time he arrived, Schiebelhood determined that this man was such a danger to him and the officers around him that it was necessary to sick his dog on the victim. Evidently, police in Visalia are so scared of cell phones they're willing to send dogs after citizens who are holding them.
Is that necessary? He's a schizophrenic!
Look at this guy's face.
Oh my God! No.
Did we not? Hey.
You guys just broke. No. No. This is not what I asked
You don't
for.
back up, I'm going to arrest you. I've told you numerous times.
You, that's my son, man. I told you he needed medical attention. He needed medical attention, not this. Now he really needs medical attention.
Look at his face.
People. I'm sorry.
I'm just thirsty. I never ate. No baby water. I never ate. I never understand.
Stop. You could have tased him. Why didn't you tase him?
Don't get too much dog. When you fight police, he's going to get dogged.
A lawsuit for this attack has been in the works since 2021, and it's now in the Eastern California District Court. We'll look at that in a minute, but first let's see how the responding officers describe this event in their report. From the Visalia Times-Delta, police officers account of the incident obtained by the Times-Delta paint a dangerous picture for police. Officer Sean Schiebelhood and his police dog arrived after 2 officers were already on scene. Schiebelhood says that trash cans had been thrown at officers as they approached Gutierrez, who clenched his fist and took a bladed stance. They were continuing to struggle with the suspect, Schiebelhut said in his report. Because Gutierrez wouldn't take his hand out of his pocket, officers say they didn't know if the man was armed with a weapon. The man's mother claims she told the police he wasn't armed. I advised both officers that if the suspect decides to start fighting, to back away, and I would deploy my canine partner, Schiebelhut said in his report. I saw Gutierrez begin to walk away, saying something to the effect of, "Nah, fool," when Officer Viteto was requesting for him to remove his hands from his pockets. Lieutenant Ron Epp said in his account that the man turned away from the police, making it difficult to determine if he had any weapons in that pocket. Schiebelhut says he released his police dog after seeing Epp and Viteto struggle to control Gutierrez. The dog first bit the man's left hip. Schiebelhut says the man continued to resist, and because the dog didn't have a good grip, he let go and bit the man's face. The dog let go before the man was cuffed, Schiebelhut said. The suspect immediately complied, and the other two officers were able to take him into custody. Viteto drove Gutierrez to Kuwait Delta Medical Center, and both officers escorted the man in.
Hey, Jovan.
Now, I wonder if Visalia officers are trained to drive their spouses to the hospital after beating them too. But this is interesting that they at least drove the victim to the hospital. Keys, 42, was also detained on suspicion of obstructing and distracting officers during the arrest.
I
quote,
don't want to.
officer safety. She was later charged with obstructing.
What is that?
arrest. So not only did they sick their dog on this
Who's in the green
defenseless
room?
disabled man, they also detained and charged his mother for objecting to the dog biting her son. The Visalia Police Department is also facing another
I'm not gonna
lawsuit
bring up
filed
any
in
kids,
March
sorry.
over a canine mauling of a mentally disabled man. The officers involved in that case are not the same as those involved in Gutierrez's case. When asked about this response, Chief Jason Salazar responded, "We take our mental health calls very seriously. Our officers are trained above and beyond most other departments in crisis intervention. We've been awarded for our training, and I'm proud to say most of our officers and dispatchers have all been trained. If Visalia police officers are trained above and beyond most other departments in crisis intervention, I would hate to see how other departments respond." Oh, and Gutierrez was charged on October 20th with felony evading a police officer. So objecting to a dog biting you multiple times is considered evading a police officer. The lawsuit paints a different picture. While Miss Keys watched, Officer 1 and Officer 2 started yelling at Mr. Gutierrez. Officer 1 and Officer 2 positioned themselves so that one officer was on either side of Mr. Gutierrez and continued to yell at him.
Be nice
Mr.
to watch that
Gutierrez did not
crispiness
move,
go down
but
their
instead
throat.
kept the cell phone pressed to his ear. Officer 1 and Officer 2 then grabbed him by the arms and forced them behind his back. Once he was defenseless with his arms behind his back, Officer 3 ordered the canine to attack Mr. Gutierrez. Officer 3 held the leash for the canine dog, watching, along with the other 3 defendants, as the canine dog repeatedly bit into Mr. Gutierrez's flesh. First, the canine bit Mr. Gutierrez's hip. He screamed and lurched to the side in pain. After the first bite, the defendants did not call off the dog, intervene, or take any action to shield Mr. Gutierrez from further injury. Instead, Officer 4 continued to watch as Officers 1 and 2 continued to hold Mr. Gutierrez's arms back. Officer 3 then allowed the dog to jump on Mr. Gutierrez again. This time, the dog tore into Mr. Gutierrez's face. As defendants put Mr. Gutierrez into the back of the police car, one of the officers stated if he wants to fight with police,
had a kid pop into the green room.
Defendants did not summon an ambulance or provide first aid to the confused and bleeding Mr. Gutierrez. Instead, they left him afraid, alone, mentally ill, his face bleeding and riddled with dog bites in the back of the police car for approximately half an hour. After 30 minutes had passed, the defendants transported Mr. Gutierrez to a hospital to be treated for a dog bite. Once at the hospital, neither defendants nor anyone with the Visalia Police Department alerted hospital staff to Mr. Gutierrez's need for mental health treatment. The Visalia Police Department then transported Mr. Gutierrez from the hospital to a jail facility without his clothes. For approximately 2 days, the Visalia Police Department left the traumatized and mentally ill Mr. Gutierrez in a jail facility with nothing to wear except a medical gown, underwear, and shoes. During the time Mr. Gutierrez was in jail, the Visalia Police Department did not provide Mr. Gutierrez with any medication or treatment for his mental illness. The moral of the story is this: if anyone you know suffers from a mental illness, the last people you should call in an emergency are police officers. They simply aren't trained to properly handle these situations, and more often than not, they exacerbate them, and people get completely avoidable charges brought against them. This was a horrible way to learn that lesson, so please take it to heart so nobody you love has to learn the same way. Share this video with their caretakers if they have any doubt. The contact info for this department is down below. If you'd like to let them know that they aren't treating their dogs humanely, or if you want to commend them on being mostly trained on how to deal with mental health emergencies, their contact info is in the comments and description below. Thanks for taking action against tyranny.
All right, let's get something going. I'll help this guy here. Sorry.
On this jury, we would definitely be voting to acquit by a light year. But whether to this morning's evidence that was presented may sway a jury to the point to show that the inconsistencies or the apparent inconsistencies that were presented in these interviews from the testimony of multiple witnesses do not justify a conviction. So, because as I said, walking into today, I was at a point where I was like, they don't need to put a single witness up.
Do you have any problem?
When the prosecution
What do you read
rests,
easier, Spanish or
I think they can
English?
rest. Now they have the opportunity to cross to this.
Okay, that's fine. I have to print something out for DHS. You just have to have it
try and
out.
show all the problems with the.
Well, I didn't know because it'll let me
and all
print it
the
in Spanish or
evidence,
English.
You know, to undercut a lot of the evidence, and there's a lot of meat to cross. This is a juicy cross to.
This isn't going to stop anything. You're still
an
ready to
attorney,
start Monday.
as far as really punching in on things that Special Agent Owen asked during the interview.
Daytime.
Certain conclusions.
5 a.m. to
that seem
3:30.
which don't seem
10-hour
to
shifts Monday
really
through
be
Thursday.
supported by the
So
evidence
that's
we've
40
seen
hours
so
right
far.
there. So
And
then you'll have 3-day weekends.
theories that he presented, like he mentioned in his interview that he thought there were potentially two shooters.
So,
like what's
the work weekend's on
Why
Sunday,
today
though,
don't we
and then you
have
get paid the
two
immediate
shooters?
Friday after
Like,
that.
how do we rule that out?
Which is the 20th.
And I don't think he can rule it out. I don't think Special Agent Owen today, sitting in court today.
No, not this Friday, but the one I'm pointing at, the 3rd.
Oh, the 3rd.
Okay. All right.
That sounds like a reasonable
So,
doubt all day.
Work week starts on Monday
Yeah,
and ends on
and
Sunday.
that's what I think.
You get
I'm
paid the
anticipating
immediate
the
Friday.
defense is going to be
All right.
building on.
Okay.
So,
Sounds good.
yeah.
But to be fair, though, I think Andrew said it, and so did Uncivil earlier on, that this is a circumstantial case, and when you have a circumstantial case, it's going to be hard.
Paul, do you have a
especially
direct deposit
here
that
with
you
a
want to use, or
black
do you want to
motive,
use one of our pay
motive
cards?
just doesn't even make sense too.
Okay, it's fine.
And just so to
I'll
the
give you
audience
a pay card.
understand, if you have most cases are heavily circumstantial, direct evidence is really hard to get, but with a circumstantial case, motive is extremely important because the motive ties the circumstances together. And right now, if the motive doesn't make sense, then the circumstantial evidence doesn't fit within that parameter to get you
On first shift,
beyond a
especially.
reasonable doubt.
Oh,
And what you're saying about
Make it
motive is
easier.
really important. And to pound this home, that motive becomes far more important when we're focusing on a case that's fixated exclusively on circumstantial evidence such as this one. Contrast this with the Dow Brooks case, where we have video of the guy driving. To this day, are we certain what his motive was? Does he just hate white people? Does he hate people in general? Was he looking for public attention? Was he trying to get away from the police?
No, she wants to be here in this building. It's over in the building on
We just know
Telegraph.
he's a monster. He needs to be locked away forever.
He's worked
because
here
he's
before.
a menace to society. He's an evil piece of garbage.
I would like to,
and
but
that he needs
they
to be
won't
punished,
take him
and
down.
justice demands we put him away.
We might be able to
Give the
place him
slightest
somewhere
damn what his
else.
motive is. When because we have that video.
You know them?
All these people, and everyone can see for themselves what a monster he was and how heartless he was in the way he conducted himself on that fateful day. When that's the individual, that's the man, that's the guy who drove through the parade. That terrible human being. So we don't care about motive when we have such compelling evidence. It's not circumstantial evidence, but when you have circumstantial evidence, we don't know. So then we sort of say, okay, what makes us think that someone would commit this crime?
Is there someone with DHS that you are working with
important for that
for your card and stuff like that?
And when it's so paper thin, it makes you question whether our circumstantial evidence should be interpreted in a different way. That maybe
green card, do you have a caseworker?
And maybe it's not really pointing the direction that you might think it is because there's no reason for the guy to do it.
Okay.
The motive here seems to be financial crimes, right? He wanted to hide the financial crimes because that's why he killed
Print
them.
this out for you.
No, not even that. Not financial crimes.
What?
To get a delay to get a trial delay.
So what they
He
usually
killed
do
his
is,
wife and
like,
son.
break
His
food
wife,
or
who
what?
he had a loving
I'm sorry?
relationship,
What they
and
do
his
is,
son,
like,
who he spent
Packaging
summers
food
hunting.
products.
He's taking
Yeah,
to
some of
every
the
ball.
some of the
He's going
stuff
to
you
every
see up
ball
on the
game.
shelves
He's never
upstairs.
had, no one's
That's
ever
some
seen
of
him
the
argue
products
with
they
these
work on.
people. And in
All
order to
different
get a
kinds of stuff.
continuance,
And they're
the
it's
judge,
the time of year where they're going to start
Shotgun
getting
motive for
busy.
motion for
And-
continuous.
he used a shotgun to
barrel.
blow his. He used a shotgun to blow his own son's head
And
off.
it
That's
wasn't
his
a
motive.
continuance for this case. Obviously, it was a continuance he was charged along with his now dead son in a boating accident 6 years ago.
Wow.
This is motion to quash.
This is crazy. Yeah, so it doesn't seem like the prosecution's gonna have a good outcome here for them. But do any of you guys believe that they're forget about the evidence, but do any of you guys believe that he's actually guilty of these crimes? Because it doesn't seem like it's proven.
I think that if we conclude that his rifle was used to kill Maggie, I think the scenarios favor him being involved. While I think it's possible, to the reasonable doubt standard, that he's not. I think on a balance of probabilities, I think the balance of probabilities favors him.
Review that real quick. It's going to give you a choice to make.
I
just have to submit
might
it.
believe that he's in fact guilty, or let me rephrase. That
I'll give you the
he's, in
paperwork
fact,
to take to them.
the
It
murderer,
shouldn't take
but
long.
not
I mean, you have your card
just
and everything.
reinforce
So you're
Joe's
good.
point, because you essentially said if I had this direct evidence of what this gun was used, then we can get there. But without the direct evidence, it seems like the motive and circumstantial evidence is not working.
So
I've gone the other way.
So all you have to do is show
I'm
your green card to them.
far less.
So, I mean,
I just need you to pick one of the two things there, though.
Oh,
There's
You just have to go by their office.
I thought the state had something.
It's not going to, like I said, it won't delay your start, and usually it takes them a month or so to
The
even respond to
the
it. so.
spreadsheets.
Yeah,
Frank has
just
been on the
witness
fence
after
on this
witness
the whole
after
time.
witness.
So he's Brankin goes back and forth every day on this one.
I don't care. I mean, I don't care if he's guilty or not. I don't care if he goes to jail or not. This guy's not friends or family to me. That doesn't mean anything. And honestly, I'm kind of hardwired in such a way that I can't really answer the question. Do you think he's been proven beyond a reasonable doubt, or do you think he could be guilty even if that's not the case? For me, there's just the one threshold. I don't care
Well,
about the preponderance.
You'll take this.
If
This
he
stuff
killed
right
him, but they can't
here.
prove it
It's
beyond a
asking
reasonable
you to
doubt,
just
I don't give a
swing by
shit.
the
That's not
office and
guilty.
show them your card.
So
Yeah.
Okay. This
agree
is
with
the
that.
rest
Sure.
instructions. I just
That's
have
why I
to,
always
you got to
like
choose whether or not
Broncos.
you're going to do it or you're not going to do it.
But that's why I always
See where
love
the
watching
check
Broncos
boxes
now.
are?
Even though when I disagree with them, I always say he doesn't really care about the case. It's always and it's well reasoned. So
He's basically like
Well, that's very kind.
he's like Tommy Lee Jones in The Fugitive when he's like,
Right,
I didn't
I don't
kill
care.
my wife. I don't care. I don't care.
No, you know what? The funniest part though is to watch the race baiters try to jump on Brock when he
You just have to
disagrees.
check
Oh,
that
you're a
box
race.
and then
I'm
sign
like,
that you're
you
going to do it.
guys are just saying, you guys. Oh, we didn't
I have
watch
to
it.
answer
Just
them on
like
the
you guys gotta
computer
watch
and then-
the analysis to
then you
tell
go
me
in.
why you think the guy's racist. He can't just be racist because he just came to an conclusion. Well, watch.
Yeah, where it
Then
says-
they'll watch and be like,
You
well,
could use the desk. if
we
you
really
want.
don't agree with anything, but we still. I'm like, there's nothing you can do at this particular point in time.
It's like how women argue. It's not what you said, it's how you said it.
I'm like, the facts, those evil facts. Joe, I know we watch this murder trial, but what the hell is going on in Israel? It's it's crazy. It's like, for those of you who don't know, Israel doesn't really have a constitution, but they're trying to pass a law to essentially remove the Supreme Court from judicial review. In other words, and the way they'll do it is that if they don't disagree with a Supreme Court ruling, the parliament over there with the majority vote can overrule them, and it's like chaos in the streets. Have you been hearing about this, Joe?
So let me get this straight. Because I'm Jewish, you're assuming, and a lawyer, you're assuming that I have some level of familiarity with the Israeli judicial system. Is that where we're at this point? I just want to know if that's where we're at this point.
Clearly
Well,
you do.
yes.
Just give your answer and stop wasting our
Yes.
time.
Obviously, if I want to know about Israeli law, I would go to someone who's practicing in that faith.
Are you
who
not
happens to be a
automatically
lawyer.
with the Israeli bar?
You're not practicing. Joe.
First of all, I don't practice in America, much like.
What are you talking about? Joe, you're
I
a
practice
practitioner
in
of the
America.
faith. Because I try to call you on Saturday. Let's not
Okay.
pretend.
I'm just talking to myself. Sorry.
I'm a practitioner of Jewish. Okay, let me be.
Packed this place is.
Oh wow.
There's like
Damn.
barely room in between the shelves.
Wow.
And it's all chemicals. Scary.
All hair.
That thing would go off like an atomic bomb if it caught fire.
Yeah, probably.
Jeez. So many chemicals.
Yep.
Ouch.
All right. Ooh, excuse me.
You need this back?
Yeah, framing and art gallery.
Yep.
Yep, that's all we need.
Okay.
I already checked it because I figured you would. I already did it on the computer, and that's the rest. This is what you just got there. Just review that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Huh. Interesting.
No, just tell them, hey, I got a tentative non-confirmation. It just means that you have to show them your card.
Oh, okay. So if I put in the room, like,
No, that's different. That's the DHS office. This now we're going to work on the job.
Oh,
This has
okay.
nothing. This is
Okay, all right.
this Department of Homeland.
All right.
So
Let's go, man.
this part, I just need you to go review that. You can go ahead and see over at the gray table there. Just the front and back on these. Just fill these out,
Okay.
and then we'll do the safety stuff next. There's pens over there.
Ooh, freaky fast. Are they going to be freaky fast today?
Oh, yeah, they are. I guarantee it.
Oh, maybe not. Yeah. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Look at this dining area right here. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah. Oh, Star Fox.
Oh, no.
Starbucks. Yeah.
You get your pay card ready
They're
too.
busy.
Quite, yeah.
They're running around in there like chickens with their head cut off.
Oh, no.
One just ran to the back, and there's 4 of them still up there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they just running.
Coffee's serious business.
It is, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Especially Starbucks. So many people just love Starbucks.
Actually, I'm really just glad to see so many people
No
out
way?
and about
Okay.
after the last 2 years.
Right. Huh. Cool. Nobody's complaining.
Yeah.
That's good.
As it should be.
Yeah. AT&T. Oh, he's working hard, isn't he? Man, he's working hard right there. Playing on his phone. There you go. Put your phone away.
I'm surprised they still have any AT&T stores open after they're going to get canceled.
Right.
DirecTV and AT&T
Right.
over dropping Newsmax.
Yeah.
They're a mess trying to get canceled over that.
Huh. Interesting. Oh, an eyeglass place? I love eyeglass places. They're always so nice. All the employees all in the back, it looks like. Yeah, it looks like they're all in the back. Oh, there's one out front.
Gordon? What's that? YouTube.
Yep. Yep.
We do virtual tours of downtown areas, public recording, like that. Walk around with the cameras report. Oh man, it's great exercise. It's great teaching. Not everybody likes it. Oh no. I got the license. What's that? I didn't make you start. That doesn't make you start. When it's someone nice, cordial, or they're assholes.
Oh, but that's what should get you more views, though.
That's what.
Yeah, those are the ones that become the stars.
Right back, which I enjoy sometimes.
I guess I said it came up to we got you more views.
I don't like being a jerk all the time, man. I like being nice.
Something's got to be nice.
Yeah, you gotta be nice.
And see, we give these to police officers.
Because people call the cops on us all the time for doing that.
You're awesome.
And the cops show up, and, you know, and then the people are like, well, and then the cops are like, well, we're doing what they're doing is legal. Freaking media. FRIPN. You guys might be looking for a new job soon, huh? If AT&T and DirecTV have to close up because they get canceled? They're working on it, ain't they?
No, I don't think so.
I heard y'all stock dropped big time after they got me mad. Oh no! Yeah.
Look at what it says on that vehicle.
I love it.
That's hilarious.
Thank you. I love that umbrella. I'm a Resident Evil fan. I can't help it. I love the stickers, man.
Yeah, absolutely love it. That's hilarious. I turned around and saw that. I'm like, oh, hell yeah.
Your tires all blacked out. Spotlight.
Crowd of people right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't even see anything on
I
that
can't
screen.
either, really. I just see
I see them all
basic
twisting
shapes
their
of
heads
people,
around.
yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
The French fries.
There's
Yeah. Freaking media. Freaking media.
and mine's Michigan Constitutional Crusader. What's that?
Next
Yeah, next few days. Have a good one. Bless you. Feel better?
A little bit. At least I didn't shark this week.
Right? Yeah, that would be a bad time.
That would be. The big restaurant, not very busy.
No, well, it's in between meals, so.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's the buffet table. Oops.
Knock, knock.
Yeah.
Here's Johnny.
Oh, Comerica Bank.
Go back, huh?
Done with that part? I got you. I'll be right there.
All right. Okay.
Oh, he's still there. Let's go this way.
Yeah. And this is just your sign that you're willing to do it. It's not required.
Well, there's your colors.
I know let you know that they consider it.
Quiero Taco Bell. Quiero Taco Bell. Quiero Taco Bell. Quiero Taco Bell.
So, yeah.
Burrito
So
Supreme,
they can
extra
search
sour
that.
cream.
Yeah.
Burrito Supreme, extra sour cream.
Just don't come to
Although I used to love the Mexican pizza, but they really don't.
the
It
handbook.
really
Goes
doesn't
over all
taste
the
the same as it used
Yeah,
to.
these people. Copy of the little sheet you sent.
But I like that grilled cheese burrito with the jalapenos on it. Oh, man.
Jalapenos. We don't use that for this. Now, this we keep on file for food administration. All you want to take is sign the initial list that outline. Okay. This page. You just acknowledging that you want to take a copy of this and which you identify. Yeah. And it's over to employee, one sign and date. I do the bottom here. It's just
He's on the phone. He called 911.
Oh, did he call
Who's the
911?
question? Okay, I can help you with this. Okay. It's not a pass fail thing. The answers are in here, but you can't find the test. All right, I'll make sure you.
He called 911.
Wow, they got blinds right there.
Yeah, they do, don't
They
they?
got blinds.
Huh. He's a whiner. He called 911. All the tellers ran away. Wow. Huh. Oh, that one just ducked. She started walking that way and then saw me and ducked. That's crazy. Are they crawling on the floor? That's crazy. What's that? What's going on?
I talked to him about the car, about the color. I said, just that color's going to get you more tickets. He's like, I can't wait.
Oh, damn. Yeah. That's a pretty color.
Isn't it? It's yellow with a tint of green in it.
Yeah, that's sweet, actually. I like that color.
At certain angles, it looks green and then it looks yellow.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Nice, right?
Right?
Good luck on those tickets, man.
Let's do some music.
Oh, yeah. He said, come in. Okay.
Huh?
He said, come in. What is that? Is that cheesecake or what? Cheesecake. I don't know. Looks good.
Turkish.
I'll get one take home to the wife.
It's
I guess.
Turkish.
How's it going?
Turkish sweets.
Yes.
Oh, here's the oh, shoot. What is this? Turkish Delight?
Thank you.
one in my life. That is good.
Wow.
That is good. That is really good. Is that it there? How much? I'll take some home. What are these here? How many? One of those.
Okay, that's okay. What's the question? For allergen, that's green.
$1?
Yep. Anything with allergen is green.
For a slice. For a slice. How much for the whole lot? That is really good. Right. Give me 12. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, look at this thing. That looks really good too. I like that. They don't look like sweets. But oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah, I'll take them home with the wife and kids. Let them try it. Right. What's that? Yeah, I just want that. Oh, mine will be separate. What is this one here? The third one in on the bottom. I like that fast. I would wear that.
Michigan Constitutional Crusader.
Oh, yeah, did you hear about the earthquakes in Turkey?
Yeah.
Over 30-something thousand people dead now.
That's horrible.
Yeah, it's horrible. Let's make these guys a video too. Yeah, no doubt. It's also ornate. What's that? All these little vessels and steamers, just so ornate, beautiful. They are. They're just gorgeous. Absolutely, they are. Love it. We're going to be connoisseurs of international food before it's over. Yeah. What's this third one in over here on the bottom? What is this third one in on the bottom? Okay. Still hanging up. Okay. Let me get. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Do him. Wife and kids will eat those up quick. They don't even stand a chance. Yeah. Okay, so let me get 4 pieces of this.
And then 2 pieces of that one on the end there. And what are these 2 in the middle here, on the middle shelf? What are these 2 on the middle shelf?
This is baklava with walnut, and this is tulumba.
What's it made out of? Huh?
I think this is Netherlands.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Huh? Who was? Oh, okay. Huh. That's funny. Huh. They went to Popo.
Ah, smell bacon. Dearborn time, yeah.
Some true Dearborn sausage.
Dearborn sausage.
Where's he going? Yep. Nashville hot chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
Huh.
Just loaded in a bunch of beers.
Okay. Oh, that looks yummy. Yeah.
It's very yummy.
Yeah. Oh, cigar shop. Yeah.
Very busy. Looks really 1970s.
I think that's kind of the plan.
I do. Wow.
You smell something?
I smell bacon.
Yeah, I smell bacon too.
Hey, come here.
Hey.
Come here, sir.
No.
Come here.
Nope.
Can't be in a bank. Video me.
Shut up. Shut up, you ignorant son of a bitch. You don't know what the hell you're talking about.
We've on a public sidewalk. Shut your way. Damn, dude.
Dumbass. Yeah.
You can't be in the bank. There's nobody in the bank.
Exactly.
If you think we were, go look at the cameras.
Walk the lane. Yeah, that's right. Walk away. Stupid cops. Learn the law. Don't tell me to come anymore. Shake and spin, buddy. One for you too.
Love it. Use.
If you're national forest people and they're considered federal agencies.
Yeah, man. They weed is still illegal out here. federal land because it's still illegal federal.
Well, Codone is it? No, I'm kidding.
I know. What the fuck? Oh my god.
Some people, I got pain in my leg. I need it.
I know. I got some fucking synthetic drug that's legal, and then you got a naturally grown drug that's illegal.
Got a shooting range right here.
Oh, sick! Look at that.
Oh, I wonder how far that goes. Looks pretty far. See, targets in that clear little hill down there. It's far. Oh no, that's not. That's another range. Yeah, pretty standard. Yes, if you're a cop.
There should be a big ass mountain straight ahead, but you can't see it because it's so misty. It's snowing up there.
It's funny how cops train 20 yards.
Yeah.
Not even that. It's like, I think it's that 20 yards or something.
They could shoot you at 10 yards, maybe 5.
Yeah, maximum.
Any further, they'll miss.
Just let go. Distance. Look at all this rock.
All right, we got inDOCtriNATION. What's up? Thanks for being here. It says we are with you, D. I'm glad you're not like locked. I accidentally timed you out, I think, the other day. I crashed. I don't know what I was doing. I was definitely drinking.
I think we need to stop closer to here because I know the circus.
Oh, just keep going.
Just keep going. Just keep going.
Yeah, I could.
Federal Valley agents are out here. Oh yeah, you can always post later.
Federal agents. We're not
Federals.
doing anything illegal. Just park wherever you want.
Just cruise around. Check some people out.
Yeah. So that gun range is back there. So gun range right here. We shoot up against this mountain here. Oh look, there's targets out there. I hardly see them because all the snow. But yeah, pull over wherever you want. Check out the crime scene. Just kidding.
Let's go a little further. Let's check this out.
Yeah, go subscribe to inDOCtriNATION.
Can't even tell.
Thanks for putting his link out there, Karen.
Look at this, guys. Look at, like, really
Oh,
it's on that planet.
It's not plowed right here, huh?
Nope. Nice. No, this is dirt road now.
Dirt road. Oh, this is where it changes to
Yeah,
dirt.
you can't even see where it changes.
Yeah. Okay, so that was pavement back there, but now it's dirt. Let's bring a four-wheeler out here.
Beautiful country.
Yeah. Might see some wildlife.
Go spot a big ass.
I don't see anybody out here. There used to be like tenters, people tent out here during the summer. They'd stay out here all summer.
Last weekend it was packed.
Last weekend?
It was packed out here. There wasn't as much snow.
What holiday was it?
Uh,
Yeah, all this snow just got here
it was
within a
close
few
to,
days.
It was close to Valentine's Day. It was a little before Valentine's Day.
Oh, right here. Is that it?
No, that's not one range though. Militias will here. They'll practice their amendments.
Second Amendment militias practice out
Oh
here.
yeah. Dressed up as full military. You gotta love Colorado, guys.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
So, full military gear.
Without
Group.
support, dude.
Yeah.
So,
I'm pretty sure they're well regulated.
oh yeah, they are. But they don't follow government. Don't follow government.
No free person.
Look at this range.
So is that 100 yards over there? Or where? How far is 100 yards?
Pretty much that. Up near those trees on that little hill.
Should have brought my battery. I knew I should have brought extra battery. Let's check it. dressed. See how deep the snow is. I know. Oh, that's a burnt down fucking trailer. Huh? It's a burnt down trailer. Yeah, I know. That was the one. Yeah, it's been there for a minute. That one burnt down something. Ask me how I know that. I've seen 22s go through trailers like that. Oh yeah. There's a bunch of junk out here for them to shoot at, huh? Huh? There's a bunch of junk out here for them to shoot at. Oh yeah. Got loose on that thing all day. Get my map. Alright. 15. It's like an AC unit. Used to be on top of the motorhome. I don't need those now. It's too snowy. Yeah. Alrighty. Let's set this up. Check this out, guys. Right on that box. Right there. Oh, yeah. Should be updated. Hold on. Maybe I have a brighter piece of paper. Huh? Maybe I have a brighter piece of paper. No, I'm just gonna put into the center of that. Okay. So we're actually gonna shoot a couple weapons out here. Testing.
All right. All set?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
Take a quick look.
Can you hold it? Careful to kick. Be real quick. Don't hold it too close to the eye.
The safety data sheets are in the break room. Big deal. That's one of the most missed questions. So. It's good, man.
Yeah.
Monday, 5 a.m.
Monday, 5 a.m.
Yeah.
All right.
Should be all set. Yeah, just make sure you swing by there, get with them about that, and there shouldn't be an issue. Huh? I think that's where they do it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, it's right over there on Telegraph Road.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. If you have any problems between, steel toe boots, right?
What's that?
You do need steel toe shoes.
Yeah, I got some.
Okay. I'm just saying it's one of the requirements for the job.
Okay.
Jeans is fine, and then a plain white T-shirt.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Sounds good.
If you have any questions or anything like that, just text the office number. Yeah.
All right.
That down.
Yep.
There you go.
He's got a video too. This started. Let's go.
I love eyeglass places. They're always so nice. One right back here in the office.
Excuse me? You don't mind me asking, what are you guys doing?
Recording? What's that?
For what?
YouTube.
Oh, that's cool. You guys got a YouTube channel?
Yeah.
What are you guys doing there?
What's that?
What do you guys like posting?
We do virtual tours of downtown areas, public recording, things like that. Just walk around with a camera and record.
Get it?
Yeah.
Guys enjoy it and stuff?
Oh man, it's great exercise and we meet great people, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody likes us, but some people do.
If you want to take a look at our store, you can.
Oh no, I'm good, man. I got Verizon. Sorry.
I don't know what YouTube channel is. You just made me the star of your video.
What's that?
Just made me the star of your video.
I didn't make you the star.
Shut the camera right at.
But that doesn't make you the star. What makes someone the stars of my videos is if they come out to my camera and are either nice and cordial or they're assholes.
And the assholes usually get you more views though.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it gives me a chance to be a jerk right back, which I enjoy sometimes.
I guess I should have came up to you. You would have got you more views.
Nah, I don't like being a jerk all the time, man. I like being nice,
Sometimes
you know?
gotta be nice.
Yeah, you gotta be nice, man.
Give these to police officers.
Yeah, because people call the cops on us all the time for doing this.
No, it's fun. You're allowed to
And the cops show up, you know, and then the people are like, well, and then the cops are like, well, they're doing what they're doing is legal.
What's the name of your channel? I want to watch the video.
Frickin' media.
Frickin' Media?
F-R-I-C-N. You guys might be looking for a new job soon, huh?
Not really.
If AT&T and DirecTV have to close up because they get canceled, they're working on it, ain't they?
No, I don't think so.
I heard y'all stop.
Oh, D News, yeah.
Drop big
Sorry.
time.
I did. That's
After
right
they
above
dropped
there. That's
Newsmax.
No.
Oh no, yeah.
Look at what it says on that vehicle.
Umbrella Corporation. I love it. I love it. Yeah, have a great day, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The one that ends in 6Y.
I love that Umbrella Corporation. I'm a
I've just
Resident
seen
Evil
this, though,
fan.
so
I
I'm
can't
gonna-
help it.
Go back to D News.
Did you see who that was? Huh? Did you see who that was? Nah. It's like some family. Oh. I want to try.
No, he's out shooting, actually, it looks like. He keeps buffering. He's not in the best spot.
Try something real quick. All right, they're back. Y'all see that? Right? Check that out. I'm gonna go way back there on that hill. Open sights. All right, check it. Freaking buffer. Yeah. Same here. Oh, you're buffering too? What about now? You buffering? You still buffering, Doc? Better? All right, right. Cool. We're gonna go out a little bit further. I'm gonna have to go out there with Billy Buttcrack, do our Second Amendment. Woo!
Oh, here, I'll drop it again. I just did it. It was just above here.
All right, we're
Uh,
okay now.
Find it.
I was all zoomed in, trying to
You can
pose for the camera.
You can, but
The fuck?
you can't if you don't know it.
All right.
There you go. Here, let him know I sent you in there too. He sends people to me all the time. It's slow.
You can stay right there. I'm just gonna zoom in on the target. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not sure. Go straight? Yeah, you went straight.
It's actually a green dot too. I got a green for the day and red for the night. Nice. Yeah, you did it. The bump stops are illegal. Maybe you can see it through this way. No.
Y'all see this, right? That's how you do it.
Oh yeah.
Right here. You go on it inside. Thumb. Belt loop it. Right here.
Yeah.
And then
Oh, here we go. These dumbasses. Shut up. Nobody was in the bank. Nobody was in the bank. We was on a public sidewalk. Shut up and go away. Damn, dude. Damn dumbasses don't know their ass from hole in the ground. Talking about you can't be in the bank. Wasn't nobody in the bank. And if you think we were, go look at the cameras.
Just put my finger right there. Oh.
show some people who said it wasn't real. That
What's
it's
that?
illegal. Show some people that it's really a thing.
Oh yeah.
Some people are like, no, you can't do that.
Yeah, they can't
I'm like,
ban
dude,
your finger.
fucking bad.
What are they gonna do? Ban your finger? They already banned bump stock, so you can't turn your semi-auto into fully auto. So you could just—it's how you hold the gun, and
Well,
you could turn any gun into a fully automatic. It's just how you hold it, huh?
there's a reason why they use natives in war.
What's up, Joe Miller? How you doing? Thanks for hitting the like.
the last mag.
Joe Miller's in here? Oh, there he is. Thanks, Doc.
It's the last mag I got, but here you go.
Hardly any kick on those. Yeah. Well, I'm just trying to hold it too hard, probably.
Here you go. Try it with these. Try it with these.
Just the sight?
Yeah, just back up. They call these back up, but like I was saying, just the tip of that and the pull of that. You'll be good.
Committed a crime, broken the law or anything, tell them to get to stepping.
Tried to tell us we can't record the bank.
Said we could
We're standing on public property.
Yeah. He said you can't record in the bank. I'm like, nobody was in the bank. We was on the sidewalk the whole time, dummy. What's wrong with you?
Into the bank from the
I can record anything I can see from a sidewalk. If you don't like it, close your blinds. Have a go, man. I like that.
That's a badass looking car all fitted like that.
That's nice.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. It just needs the red LED across the front, like Kit.
Right.
Then it really looks sweet.
That sounds really freaking good, man.
He's just gonna keep revving it. Oh, Daytona, he did a 297.
Oh, that's his Instagram name, Daytona.
Oh, okay.
That's
297. Yeah.
That's his Instagram, guys. And what is that? Ghost. What is that? Twitch?
Hell, I don't remember.
Make sure you guys go check this guy out on Instagram.
That's a badass car for sure.
Yeah, it is.
Tell him MCC or freaking media or both of us.
Yeah. He got it a little sideways without even trying.
Right?
Oh, he was trying.
Somewhere, I just didn't know where. So I practice like this. This is how I practice. Ready? Yeah. So like say, if I pull it out, practice going like that, tap, boom, thumb it. As soon as the thumb taps, I'm ready to go. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. You know what I mean? It might not be accurate, but that thumb tap counts. Now. As soon as it's down, it's quicker instead of like that. I've noticed a lot of people on AKs go like this. Oh, wow. But look at that. Boom, boom, boom. It goes up. Fuck that. I stay right here solid. As soon as that's in there, right back here. And then I just practice like that because that thumb's already touching. Yep. So it's a lot faster. Just tactically. Yeah. Practice tactical. Hold on.
Really good.
I have to try that Twitch. Heck yeah.
I used to go there all the time when I lived here.
And you know, I mean, if nothing else, we can always do Taco Bell.
And there's an Arby's down the street too.
Is there an Arby's?
Yeah. Yeah, there's Arby's.
Arby's, Taco Bell, Wendy's.
There's a Little Caesars on the back street.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we could go there too.
Yeah, we could try it. Definitely. We sure could.
Are you guys just
I don't know. I'm still stuck on Taco Bell, man. The burrito supreme with extra sour cream is awesome.
I like the grilled cheese burrito too. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, hello. I'd like to report a person with a camera on a public sidewalk. My feelings are hurt. Can you help?
They wouldn't talk to me.
She's on the phone. Called 911. I need the feelings. He's here right away. Are you just ignoring us? What was your first food?
Right. Took so long to figure it out, huh?
Why wouldn't they want to come out and talk about their business? That's what I don't get.
I know, right?
Come back.
Oh, cam back?
It's because their business is empty. They don't know how to run a business.
Oh, she's gonna come outside to try and get a better picture.
Oh, cool. Fun.
Now we'll walk
Time
away.
to play. No, I'm gonna stand right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, video evidence of me standing on the sidewalk. Clown. Oh. Oh, he's laying down. Getting something done.
Hi.
Getting his eyebrows done, probably.
You look comfy.
He does look comfy. What is this? What are they
Well, that says
tattooing?
tattoo shop right
Is it
there.
tattooing? Oh,
Yeah.
female tattoo shop.
So she must be the artist.
Oh.
Are you the artist? The artist?
Is that the tattoo he's getting?
Her arm.
Is that the tattoo he's getting right there?
Huh.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
I tattoo too. Also.
I'm watching Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh, cool.
That's the new Avatar, I believe. Is it?
It is all. Oh, there go the blinds.
Good team figure out how to open them or close them.
Well, at least they got blinds. Don't ruin your flowers.
Oh, you're gonna smash the flowers.
Oh, that sucks.
Well, she don't care about the flowers. Look at that. She's just trying to force it down. Smash the flowers. Yep. That's real nice of you to do that to the flowers.
What the flowers ever do to you?
Right.
People are funny. Another one. I smell bacon, 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 bacon. The Dearborn kind, yeah.
The unmarked is right there. The unmarked is right there.
Big. What? It just stopped as I was crossing. I can't help it. It just stopped as I was crossing. That's a nice truck. There he is again. Look, I'm just driving in circles around us. That's so funny. This is hilarious, dude. Where are they going? What are they doing?
This place has pretty much all the tables filled. Looks like.
But
I was recorded on one of your guys' videos. You guys gonna blur out people's faces?
huh?
Are you guys gonna blur out people's faces?
No.
Nope.
Where's this going on?
YouTube.
For what?
The whole world's gonna see it. Have a nice day.
You're blocking traffic. All right, so we did our whole tour up and down Michigan Avenue here, guys. You've seen it. Hour and a half long. Huh? Oh, closing their blinds.
See what it did to that water bottle. I know I hit it. Look at that hole. Just stick my finger in that bitch. Polymer tip, 22 mag out of a 2-inch barrel. 8 feet or yards. Every time I take a step, it's like a yard. I'd say it'd give you a pretty bad day. Now, for another test, here, check this out. You might want to take that camera over this way, though. Here, check this out. Or maybe not. Maybe I should take it because kind of a dangerous test. But anyway, y'all see that rubber, right? I say it went clean through, but watch this. You see that? Oh, the tire. That definitely went clean through, guys. What'd you shoot through? Metal? That went right through the rubber, both ends.
Oh, yeah.
You see that? It went right here, and it came out over there. That's polymer tip 22 mag out of a 2-inch barrel.
Yep.
Yeah, that's capable.
Yeah, this is how much snow we got just this morning. Not that much.
Oh, the basement.
Is that a camera, sir?
Yeah, that's
You can't do that inside.
Absolutely, I can. Absolutely, I can. I'm not inside.
Because it's public property and we can. You're wrong.
But you are videotaping inside.
So?
You cannot do that.
Have a nice day.
Have a great day. I don't know. I understand why everybody's weirded out by. They got cameras all over their bank, though, don't they?
They're recording the public
all the time. Yeah. None.
So now they're all huddled up right here in this breezeway area. They're afraid of the cameras. Okay.
Cam back.
Cam back, yeah. Good. EMQ 9948. That blonde lady just chuckled when she come out.
I know.
And you see, she walked out the parking lot without a problem.
Everybody else got issues. I know, right? You'd have thought so. Yeah, look at them all hanging out in there. They're all hanging out in there. They're all still hanging out in there.
Really?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Everybody check out Frickin's page too.
I wonder what in the hell they do with this bank. So many employees coming out of freaking bank.
I noticed that.
What the hell kind of deal?
I know.
And this is a one-branch bank.
Yeah.
That's some shady shit.
That's some shady shit right there, y'all.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't, what, 2-3 people working upstairs.
Right.
And then like 10 of them poured out of the basement. There's the Canback Jeep.
Still can back.
Yeah. So funny. I'm ready to get out of here if you are. All right, let's roll. All right, y'all, we're going to get out of here. We'll see you on the next one, and God bless.
For the Constitution and federal case law protect.
No, fuck it. All right. So, oh shit, that's a furnace. I don't know what the fuck poked me in the foot, but something did. Anyway, check out that thick metal. Check out how thick that is. I mean, it's kind of thin, but shit, it's kind of thick too. Anyway, check that metal out. Y'all see it?
24 gauge.
Something like that. Definitely kind of thick.
It's like someone shot it already.
I know. I mean, it looks pretty pliable. I don't know. That looks like a 22 hole already, right in that little spot. It's kind of thin. But who knows? That could have been a rifle.
Yeah.
Let's test the 22 mag out. Try it. Hold it. I'll set it up. Huh? I'll set it up. All right, let me get a sticky note so that way. All right, so we'll be shooting at this little sticky note. All right. Show you guys some random metal. Anyway, there's no holes over here. No holes. No holes. Yeah. You see that? Yeah. All right.
Lots of holes.
Anyway, fuck it. Just remember this spot. Yeah. Has no holes. So we're gonna go back direct foot from the metal, maybe a little distance between is like I'd say it's about 15 yards. Okay. Might wanna, yeah, just get a video camera of how far I am from the target. Alright, check this out. I'm kind of curious if it'll go through. Yeah, I think it might. Find out. You ready? Clean through. Yeah. That went clean through. This is a polymer tip. Went clean through that. That's a plastic tip on that bitch. Okay, guys. That's from about like 15 yards. Hold on, I didn't even see that. There's the hole right there. It punched the hole. That hole wasn't on camera. It wasn't? Uh-uh. Did you see it punch the hole on camera?
Lower.
Come take a They're not allowed toys there. Snowflake country. I hear you, bro. The Michigan governor is trying to do the same thing here. Darren, come take a peek at this. With the camera. Huh? Come take a peek at it. Look at the damage on the back. Look how much force it had. All right. Hold on.
Yeah, 22s are.
We're gonna
I mean, other than for like a squirrel.
Take this as an example. There's a 22 mag.
Well, a lot of people get killed by
polymer to second. Look at the fucking hole.
Buffer. There's a bunch of quartering videos I got set up too, or at least 3 of them. So some good ones.
What blue in that?
Like that thumbnail?
That's literally twice the size.
I mean, I was in the Army, so we trained with 5.56. When I was a medic, so I trained with pistols as well.
Those fuckers. Off of just one shot, 15 yards through, you know, some pretty good metal. I don't know, y'all be the judge of it, huh? Hold on. Process unloading these things. No, another 15. Hey Darren, you want to flip the camera around so you can see me? About how far away? Nah, hold on. Can't hear you. Oh, I was just gonna see if you could like turn the camera, face me, and then target see how far away it is. It's fine. But, okay, I'm gonna try to see how good of a group I can get. Right, that's 22 mag, 2-inch barrel. One test I haven't seen on gun videos is they don't really test it against a 380 FMJ.
Yeah.
Talking 380 ACP. So we're gonna go ahead and test that today and see how much bigger of a hole you get out of a 380 FMJ compared to a 22 Magnum polymer tip.
Sorry, doing work here too. I mean, most of the times, moving around and traveling and stuff like that, I carried an M6, or I had an M16, but most of the times I just had a little 1911, 45.
I wonder where that copper went.
I would zoom in on this. That's that ammo. 22,
I mean,
30 grain, 2,250 FPS.
What we train with. I mean, I think I carried a Beretta.
Yeah. You're getting enough to poke some holes 15 yards away into a metal.
Yep.
So you can only imagine what it would do to bone.
Yeah.
Next off, we're going to be testing 100 grain 380
Hold on, I got them all.
FMJ. It's 100 grain. You're just going to have to take my word for it. I don't have a box. But it's a 380. That was 15 yards. We're going to go ahead and take a step back 15 more yards.
Yeah.
We're going to test out this
shorter cartridge
Smith & Wesson.
Be careful. Don't let
MMP
that slide
bodyguard,
pinch you.
unloaded, obviously.
The slide's going to pinch you much.
You see that shit?
Yeah.
If you're not used to 380s.
Cool.
We're going to see what we can get out of a 15-yard
Good trigger
group.
Discipline, though. Yeah, I'm probably going to get a mature warning for this video, but not there.
Buffering.
Now, guys, fair warning. I use 90, I believe it's 95 grain flat nose in this gun just because it runs a lot more accurate than the round nose. This is 100 grain. Just had it in my store. Bought some, whatever. Yeah. Anyway, you got to be good with what you got.
At Colorado, you could buy ammo in any gas station. No, I'm just
Check
kidding.
this out. Just in case for those who are considering, I haven't seen this online either. Here's a 380 Smith & Wesson against a 22 Magnum 2-inch barrel. It's a lot smaller if I take this handle off.
He made it just in time.
The sights.
He's only got
the sights are almost the same height. May not be the same distance, but it is the same height.
It doesn't matter. It's not only the height, but it's the distance between the front and back side.
For those who are curious, yes, this is unloaded. So
always verify.
I'm ready.
Well, here we go. Might want to stand on the other side. Shells are gonna be hopping out.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Hold on. Hold on.
By the way, guys, this holds 6 rounds plus 1 in the chamber, so 7. Other one holds 5. But then again, for those who have this, just know that the thickness of this, right? Y'all know if you have it, compared to that. Look at the thickness. Just take that in for a minute.
Yeah.
Size comparison. You can't even find this online, by the way. However you want to compare it.
Cool.
Go.
Let's see the 380. Hold on. Hold on.
Okay. So I'm going to be shooting to the right of where the 22 mag was shot. There is a big hole there, but I don't think the 380 is going to make a hole that big.
We see that hole, yeah.
So we'll recognize that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. We're good. Ready to go. Clear.
I'd say a 380 fucked that shit up.
Yeah, let's go look at it.
Let's take a peek at those holes. So with my aim and my accuracy, I could actually get better grips out of a 380, or so I thought.
Yeah.
From 15 yards, I mean the Magnum, it's almost the same distance, but look at that hole, that 380 hole compared to the 22 Magnum 2-inch barrel polymer tip. Check out them holes. I don't know what it does in ballistic gel, but I do know what it's doing to this metal. And they're almost the same size. FMJ, polymer tip.
I'll check it out.
So y'all be
I was going to play the Rumble version and live dangerously.
the jet. So, you know.
So pointing out that one and that one
Yeah, he's cutting in and out anyway.
again.
Pandemic. It was brilliant, wasn't it? The $5 trillion wealth transfer. Can't remember which direction it went. The depression, the closure of small businesses. Wouldn't it be mad if we found out that the very people that were recommending the measures and medicines for that pandemic were the people that benefited? That would actually make me quite angry. Hey! Hello there, you 6 million awakening wonders. Thanks for joining me on this voyage towards
You're
truth
gonna
and
drop
freedom.
the link.
Thanks
You're
for
gonna drop it in the
staying
logo.
steady and not for going, oh, the
I'm gonna redrop
pandemic,
it
that
for
was
those
ages
who
ago.
watch too.
Well, now guess what we can tell you. Some of the people that were most front and center, visible, lionized, celebrated and hero worshipped throughout that pandemic, guess what? Guess what? They profited from it. They made new money that they would not otherwise have made had it not been for that pandemic. And for me, that means they profited from the pandemic. Let's get into this story. Hold on to your hats and keep your body hole tightly shut. Okay, for a start, do you remember when Bill Gates said this?
This is a great vaccine. It looks like almost all the vaccines are going to succeed. It is great science, great industrial manufacturing.
There's our media nodding.
Everyone who takes the vaccine is not just protecting themselves, but reducing their transmission.
That's right. That's what it's doing. Mainstream media, just nodding away.
To other people and allowing society to get back to normal.
All nice and normal, where there's a $5 trillion wealth transfer to the most powerful interests in the world. Let's see how that happened. Bill Gates secured hundreds of millions of dollars in profits from his foundation's impeccably timed investment in BioNTech, the Pfizer partner for its mRNA COVID shots. I'm going to invest in BioNTech now, before dramatically reversing course and proceeding to openly cast doubt on the whole of mRNA technology. I just went for dinner with that mRNA technology. I didn't know what it was doing. Gates turned his $55 million vaccine investment in Pfizer partner BioNTech into over $550 million in just under 2 years. But before you get cynical, think of the amount of help that he's going to be able to give people. The Gates Foundation banked roughly $260 million in cash from the stocks, with $242 million being untaxed profit, given that the money was invested through the foundation. That doesn't account for the additional 2 million shares that the Gates Foundation sold prior to that from its original pre-IPO equity investment. In the Q3 2021 sale, the Gates Foundation secured a return of over 15 times more than its initial investment. Over the next quarter, Gates unloaded over 1.4 million shares of CureVac, banking an estimated $50 million. Bloody hell, this is such good news for philanthropy everywhere. We're all going to be fine. Bill Gates made 2022's biggest charitable donation. See, I told you were wrong to question Bill Gates. Biggest charitable donation. How much have you given to charity? Do you fly around the world in a private jet, telling people not to fly around the world on private jets and giving big charity? No, I didn't think you did. Right, so shut up then. Topping the Chronicle of Philanthropy's annual list, Gates, who is topping that list of sly bastards? No, I'm sorry, did I say sly? Philanthropy list. Who's topping that philanthropy list? Topping the Chronicle of Philanthropy's annual list, Gates gave $5 billion to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to back the grant makers' work in global health development, policy and advocacy, and US education. So let's put aside our cynicism. He's made the biggest charitable donation in the world, $5 billion, and he's given that to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Wait a minute. If I got this pen and I gave it to Russell Brand, wait a minute, I've still got the pen, look, there it is, in my hand. So sounds a bit, to the layman, probably my lack of education, that Bill Gates gave a donation to himself, untaxed, and that can't be the reason, would it? Hold on a minute. Is this whole thing a tax evasion scheme? Answer in the chat. I'm certainly not saying that. Another great hero of the pandemic. You love him. I love him. We all love him. Let's, in fact, dance around singing his name and get badges of him on ourselves. It's Anthony Fauci.
You want to be a dead end to the virus. So when the virus gets to you, you stop it.
Yeah, get that virus and stop that there. Get the vaccine, it stops transmission. And certainly no one's going to question that. Not on this platform. An investigation by Open the Books found that Anthony Fauci and the NIH received and hid $350 million of royalties from pharma companies. In 2021, the National Institutes of Health, Anthony Fauci's employer, doled out $30 billion in government grants to roughly 56,000 recipients. However, Open the Books found hundreds of millions of dollars in payments also flow the other way. Oh wow, like a revolving door between the NIH and the pharmaceutical companies? That sounds weird. These are royalty payments from third-party payers. Think pharmaceutical companies, for example, back to the NIH and individual NIH scientists. Well, that was back then. It was a crazy time for all of us, the pandemic. I remember having a mental breakdown. So let's put all of that behind us and all of your suffering as well, because Anthony Fauci now is showing his true colours with his Anthony Fauci is charging as much as $100,000 for speaking engagements months after leaving his position in the Biden administration. Yeah, but remember when he would stand behind Trump and sort of go, that's a real hero. The former director of the NIAID's listing on leading motivational speakers is listed under the motivational speakers and healthcare speakers categories. Certainly motivated me to do a lot of things. I got quite cross. Were there any voices that were more significant than the voice of Bill Gates and Anthony Fauci during the pandemic? They set the narrative, they set the measures, they ultimately decided what direction things went in. The only voices of rebuttal and dissent came from what was called conspiracy theories, you know, like Joe Rogan having Robert Malone on and stuff like that. Now let's get into this article, which takes us the whole way through the pandemic from a position of good faith belief in the measures, i.e. it's a unique situation, we've got to do what we can to handle it, to where we are now. This is from that conspiracy theorist journal, Newsweek. And in it, a madcap conspiracy theorist, Kevin Bass, MD, PhD student at medical school in Texas. He's in his 7th year. Sorry, I get confused when it's not convenient and I sometimes jumble those terms up. As a medical student and researcher, I staunchly supported the efforts of the public health authorities when it came to COVID-19. I believe that the authorities responded to the largest public health crisis of our lives with compassion, diligence, and scientific expertise. I was with them when they called for lockdowns, vaccines, and boosters. I was wrong. We in the scientific community were wrong, and it cost lives. Do you remember all the times you said, I wish that they would just have an open conversation. I wish they would admit when they were wrong. I wish that they would admit that following the science is sometimes difficult because the science is a subset of corporatist interests. Natural immunity, vitamin D, none of those things were being discussed. Why? What was being discussed? Is there anything about what was being discussed and suggested that ties it into another narrative? Profitable? I can see now that the scientific community, from the CDC to the WHO to the FDA and their representatives, repeatedly overstated the evidence and misled the public about its own views and policies. There's your moment, conspiracy theorists. Hope you enjoyed it. Now get on and believe what you're supposed to believe about war or China or balloons or whatever, including on natural versus artificial immunity, school closures and disease transmission, aerosol spread, mask mandates, and vaccine effectiveness and safety, especially among the young. Basically, all of it. All of these were scientific mistakes at the time, not in hindsight. Amazingly, some of these obfuscations continue to the present day. There are things that are true that we are not allowed to say on YouTube because YouTube take WHO guidelines as their own guidelines. I don't know what that is, but it ain't good. That's why we're on Rumble. But perhaps more important than any individual error was how inherently flawed the overall approach of the scientific community was and continues to be. It was flawed in a way that undermined its efficacy and resulted in thousands, if not millions, of preventable deaths. Hold on a minute. It's not like we're seeing excess deaths everywhere, so... What we did not properly appreciate is that preferences determine how scientific expertise is used, and that our preferences might be, indeed our preferences were, very different from many of the people that we serve. We created policy based on our preferences, then justified it using data, and then we portrayed those opposing our efforts as misguided, ignorant, selfish, and evil. If you were saying that at the time, well done. I'm afraid that's all it's going to be. It's no medal or anything like that. It's just well done. And perhaps just bear that in mind going forward. Also, good luck getting your small business back on track because that money's gone to Amazon now. What a coincidence. We made science a team sport, and in doing so, we made it no longer science. It became us versus them, and they responded the only way anyone might expect them to, by resisting. We excluded important parts of the population from policy development and castigated critics, which meant that we deployed a monolithic response across an exceptionally diverse nation, forged a society more fractured than ever, and exacerbated long-standing health and economic disparities. So in a sense, the conversations that we were having, that Joe Rogan was having, those were exactly the conversations that needed to take place. And importantly, as the writer here says, you needed open-mindedness and conversation, not contempt and condemnation, not certainty and rigor, not alloying medical and scientific procedures to political beliefs. That's ideology. That's not experimentation. That's not science. And now that this has happened, what's required is an assessment and an address and an attempt to redistribute and right the wrongs that took place during that period. Our emotional response and ingrained partisanship prevented us from seeing the full impact of our actions and the people we are supposed to serve. We systematically minimized the downsides of the interventions we imposed without the input, consent, and recognition of those forced to live with them. In so doing, we violate the autonomy of those who will be most negatively impacted by our policies: the poor, the working class, small business owners, blacks and Latinos, and children. These populations were overlooked because they were made invisible to us by their systematic exclusion from the dominant corporatized media machine that presumed omniscience. Ultimately, everything that we were saying has proven to be true over time. Many of us did not speak up in support of alternative views, and many of us tried to suppress them. When strong scientific voices like renowned Stanford professors like John Ioannidis, Jay Bhattacharya, and Scott Atlas, or of University of California, San Francisco professors Vinay Prasad and Monica Gandhi sounded the alarm on behalf of vulnerable communities, they faced severe censure by relentless mobs of critics and detractors in the scientific community, often not on the basis of fact, but solely on the basis of differences in scientific opinion. When former President Trump pointed out the downsides of intervention, he was
I swear, him in 1.25 is like two times.
dismissed publicly as a buffoon. And when Dr. Anthony Fauci opposed Trump and became the hero of the public health community, we gave him our support to do and say what he wanted, even when he was wrong. But he's making a lot of money from those public speeches now, so it's not all bad news. Trump was not remotely perfect, nor were the...
I have family members that still aren't talking to me now because I think that they feel shame, but that's their choice. Yeah, I still have family members that won't talk to me.
academic critics of consensus policy. But the scorn that we laid on them was a disaster for public trust in the pandemic response. Our approach alienated large segments of the population from what should have been a national collaborative project. When you start to accept that this analysis is correct, you have to also suspect that they knew that they were doing that and didn't care, or it served the agenda they were pursuing so effectively that they were unable to resist it. I think ultimately the elite institutions of media, corporatism, and government benefit from a divided population. So a situation like this was beneficial, and we paid the price. The rage of those marginalized by the expert class exploded onto and dominated social media. Lacking the scientific lexicon to express their disagreement, many dissidents turned to conspiracy theories and a cottage industry of scientific contortionists to make their case against the expert class consensus that dominated the pandemic mainstream. I would say that it wasn't an expert class. It was a one-sided cadre of experts being utilized to underwrite a required agenda and a preset objective to ultimately facilitate the wealth transfer that we've already described, and as always takes place, whether there's a pandemic or not, the advance of the interest of the powerful. Simply put, the pandemic provided a lens to help us witness what all...
I was saying we should play some poker. If Anna's down in D News, if he's... This is just going round and round. Round and round.
Ordinarily happens, but is not so easily observable. Labeling this speech misinformation and blaming it on scientific illiteracy and ignorance, the government conspired with big tech to aggressively suppress it, erasing the valid political concern.
And the thinking critically is all it was. You know, I wasn't condemning anybody for getting the jab. Okay, my youngest son did, and I think he only did because of the pressure from a girlfriend that he had. But I never condemned them. I understand the fears that some people were feeling. I mean, no, my immediate family's fine, but yeah, some distant family members, some cousins and stuff like that. One aunt, she's gone completely off the hook, lefty. It's just too bad.
Of the government's opponents. This isn't just happening in the pandemic. This is happening now. This is happening around the war and in general around the mainstream centralist narratives we're invited to accept as true. The point of our entire channel and community, in fact, is to oppose these narratives, not just with regards to the pandemic. In fact, the reason we're still talking about the pandemic when it's largely accepted that broadly speaking it's over is because we are determined to use this example to create a new dialectic. So in the future, you don't accept that anymore. Oh, you can't say that about Ukraine. That means you don't support Ukrainian victims. You can't say that about the balloon. That means you don't support. No. We don't accept that anymore because we've seen in a concentrated time period, the way you come out is we're certain we've got the science used, lot are all hillbillies and nutters and conspiracy theorists. We've seen now that wasn't true. They were wrong. Not only that, we were right. Most of it was common sense conjecture and a set of principles around individual and community freedom. Those are the things that came to the forefront. Those are the things you cared about. Those are the things we still care about. And don't worry, because those things are still valid and they're going to be more and more valid as what I call the establishment continues to amplify its need for control in the service of corporate interest. Now you can use that as a utensil to analyze any news story. Hang on, this balloon story. Are they going to use this to generate funding and impose control? Yeah, down the line, almost certainly. The war with Ukraine, are they going to use that? Climate change, are they going to use that? So now you can just sort of stick relatively firm. It's a good thing because now you know you were right. So you're able to go, oh, good, I'm not crazy. So what's necessary is you continue to support our channel, you continue to support one another, you continue to communicate, and you stay firm and strong. Don't turn into a nutter. Don't start thinking, oh, well, if this is true, then probably that's true. They can get you on that. But if you stick to the facts, then ultimately the truth will win out. And this despite the fact that pandemic policy was created by a razor-thin sliver of American society, or an elite, who anointed themselves to preside over the working class, members of academia, government, medicine, journalism, tech, and public health, who are highly educated and privileged.
You see that interview with what's his name, DeMar or whatever it is, the football player that collapsed, when they asked him what the doctors told him they thought it was, and he's like, I don't want to get into that. I mean, that's telling. That's telling.
From the comfort of their privilege, this elite prizes paternalism as opposed to average Americans who laud self-reliance and whose daily lives routinely demand that they reckon with risk. That many of our leaders neglected to consider the lived experience of those across the class divide is unconscionable. Incomprehensible to us due to this class divide, we severely judged lockdown critics as lazy, backwards, even evil. We dismissed as grifters those who represented their interests. We believed misinformation energized the ignorant, and we refused to accept that such people simply had a different, valid point of view. We crafted policy for the people without consulting them. If our public health officials had led with less hubris, the course of the pandemic in the United States might have had a very different outcome with far fewer lost lives. Instead, we have witnessed a massive and ongoing loss of life in America due to distrust of vaccines and the healthcare system, a massive concentration in wealth by already wealthy elites, a rise in suicides and gun violence, especially among the poor, a near doubling of the rate of depression and anxiety disorders, especially among the young, a catastrophic loss of educational attainment among already disadvantaged children and among those most vulnerable, a massive loss of trust in healthcare, science, scientific authorities, and political leaders more broadly. So there you are. That is a voice from within the scientific establishment telling you what you already knew. And beyond that, lives were lost. There was a financial cost, there was a health cost, there was a social cost, all stuff that we were discussing throughout this pandemic because Bill Gates personally benefited, Anthony Fauci personally benefited, big tech benefited hugely, the government benefited, big pharma benefited, and ultimately, what is a crisis other than an opportunity for the powerful to double down on their interests and increase their power, to increase their authority, to eliminate the opportunity for dissent, to smear opposing voices. All of this we've seen take place over the pandemic, but this takes place across culture, across society, all of the time anyway. So stay alert and stay awake. If you enjoyed this video, please watch either of these fantastic videos. Turn on the notification bell and subscribe right now because the algorithm, guess who that works for? Guess where that's going to direct you? We make content every day. We need you to watch it. We're available every day also on Rumble. I'd love you to do all that stuff, but more important is that you please, if you can, stay free.
Stay free. Oops. Oops. Close the tab instead of switching to another one. Oh, yeah. Oh, anything that disagrees with them is misinformation to them.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the corner. I hope you're having an absolutely
From last
wonderful day. If you're one of my white viewers, I sure hope you're not having a fragile day because according to a new Disney show, that's a thing apparently. And what's hilarious about it is that it's just yet another kids show that is pushing this kind of woke ideology. And in this particular case,
news. That's all you just went off.
Ridiculous, disparaging, woke speak thing about white folks. You know, it's only.
We saw you were playing with the pews. We'll probably both get a mature rating for that, but that's fine.
There's so much that it's like hard to take, you know, like these clips that keep going viral, people keep saying how ridiculous it is, and it's just, you know, you just got to keep bringing it up, and hopefully people will, you know, continue, you know, consider maybe not renewing their subscriptions to these programs.
Dude, I cut off Disney Plus when they fired Gina Carano a year and a half ago. She's my girl.
Disney's wildly woke show, Proud Family, shames character for having, quote, white fragility, and explains it occurs when someone is defensive about their privilege. This is, of course, one of the dumbest, most idiotic woke topics I've ever seen. This is how it usually goes. Some woke idiot, usually a white person, tells another white person that they've had it easy because of their whiteness. Said white person says, and maybe they have, I suppose. I don't know.
Maybe they have. Yeah. Look at this guy's initials. Fuck my life.
I certainly haven't seen any checks in the mail, but so the person who gets then accused of not working hard and having things handed to them and this, that, and the other thing gets offended. So then they say, ha ha, you're fragile. And it's because you're white. Ha ha. Now, any idiot could say, okay, well, I'll just go walk up to a black person and say, well, you must have had it easy because you're black. Or an Asian person and say, well, you must be, might have it. It's absurdly racist. It's absurdly moronic and low IQ because you have no idea, none whatsoever, what that person's going through, what their path has been. You know, there are certainly people that struggle of all walks of life, of all colors, and this forced division is it's seemingly like part of the goal for these companies, isn't it? It's part of it for them. Disney's exceptionally unapologetically woke reboot of the Proud Family has added white fragility to one of its hot button topics it addresses, prompting continued backlash against the show and Disney Online. On a recent episode of the show, a black character, clearly frustrated, explains the concept of white fragility to his white male. A black character to his spouse and references activist Robin DiAngelo, much maligned book of the same title that was published back in 2018, and guilty white people paid him a lot of money to go and tell him that he's a bad thing. They're bad because they're white. The black character roughly explains a concept about being defensive about race. The series' full name is The Proud Family, Louder and Prouder, airs on Disney Plus' struggling streaming service, Disney Plus.
Louder and
It was
Prouder?
initially slammed for a woke rap performed by one of the students whom show involved, who performed a number about reparations and claimed that slaves built this country. White Fragility was written by DiAngelo, a professional diversity trainer, a job that doesn't need to exist, academic who says that a myriad of corporate training events she has experienced hostility from white people when discussing race. Well, this is, of course, a hilarious lie. The reason the interactions you're having, Robin DiAngelo, wherever your stupid name is, and even in this television show, The Proud Family, is not simply a discussion about race. You are positing, you are telling a person of a certain race that they've had it easier because of their race, which is verifiably untrue. There are people that have struggled from the day they are born to the day they die, and it has absolutely nothing to do with their skin color. It has far more to do with where they were born, their class that they were born into. DiAngelo's book, despite heavy criticism of it, has played a significant role in defining a modern discourse about race. The book, for instance, fast identifies white progressives as the leading cause of daily damage to people of color. Well, that I'd buy.
Absolutely. I mean, didn't you hear that over? I mean, I don't know how much of the white pill you were listening to when I was listening to Michael Malice. That's what the socialists and the communists were doing. That's what they did. They divided. That's how they did it. You know, they put half the population up, pitted against the other, saying they're your enemy. When most of the time there's very, very few conflicts and there's a ton of common ground. But
progressives can be the most difficult for people of color because to the degree we think we've arrived, we will put our energy into making sure that others see us having arrived, she wrote. What? The select clip from the episode was tweeted out by an account called inDOCtriNATION, shout out, and received responses that had ranged degrees of disapproval. I wish I had Disney Plus so I'd cancel it, wrote Jake Shields. Jim Hansen, who boasts 80,000 Twitter followers, wrote, the book is absolute garbage, referring to DiAngelo's exploration of white fragility. Young America's Foundation simply tweeted back a meme of Park and Recreation's character Ron Swanson and the Disney logo into a giant dumpster. This is the second time in recent weeks it's been ripped for featuring expressly anti-white propaganda. The first time was when the show's characters discovered the town was built by slaves, and then they did a rap about reparations. It was ridiculous. The scene itself is, of course, hilarious, too.
Oh, you understand love, don't you? No, I do not understand anything about white fragility. White fragility?
Wait, is this an interracial gay couple, too? Shout out.
You know what it means. You're doing it right now. Doing what? Being defensive about race. Robert DeAngelo wrote a whole...
They're actually advertising the book. They actually advertised the book. And again, imagine a scenario where you walk up to a white or a black or Asian or whatever individual, and you put your finger in their face and you tell them that they've had it so easy because of their skin color. I imagine that almost any race of people would react negatively to that. I don't think that that's a crazy thing to say. Amid backlash, Disney claims the show follows the adventures and misadventures of a newly 14-year-old Penny Proud and her Proud family, but has sparked major backlash with viewers who have accused the broadcasting giant of beaming woke BLM propaganda straight into their living rooms.
That's what it is.
Others started using the hashtag boycott Disney after watching footage, which also depicts police officers in riot gear turning up at a protest. In the episode, Penny learns the meaning of Juneteenth and discovers terrifying truth about their town, that it was founded by a slave owner. Parts of the rap on the show, which are aimed at a younger audience, say that we're the descendants of slaves in America, have earned reparations.
No, yeah.
What? Literally what? You see a lot of that tweets. This is a scene from the Proud Family, a kids show on Disney Plus. They're beaming woke BLM propaganda straight into your living rooms. Yeah. Rob Smith says, when the Proud Family was made 15 years ago, it was sweet, funny cartoon sitcom about a black family. Rebooted by Disney Plus in the woke era, it's now this. The reboot also features an interracial gay couple with a child. Why? Well, I mean, why not? What are you, some kind of bigot? Charles R. Down says, the Proud Family looks more like an Antifa recruiting video than a child's TV show. Disney is brainwashing our children into Marxists. I highly suggest staying away from everything Disney creates. Elon Musk should buy Disney and make it great again. No, he shouldn't buy Disney. I'm still waiting for him to make Twitter great again. Okay, still waiting for the Cybertruck to be better than what we think it is. Still waiting to get the full bandwidth minimum that my Starlink is supposed to. So no more projects for Elon, please. I mean, it's so ridiculous that this stuff, like, a Disney cartoon tackles white fragility for kids, sparking new wave of backlash. I think that they make this crap like with this express plan / purpose of cultivating outrage, because otherwise who would be talking about this show? Like, who's this show even for? Middle-aged white women? I'm guessing. Like, here's an article by Matt Taibbi that completely destroys it. The book itself, of course, is ridiculous race grifting. All of these companies are more interested in keeping us divided and keep telling us all the things why we're different and why this is a bad thing. And not, instead of celebrating our differences, you get stuff like this. Oh, if somebody puts their finger in your face and say that you didn't accomplish things, you had it easy because of your skin color, you're supposed to be okay with that. And if you react negatively, suddenly you're fragile. I don't buy it. I don't accept it. It's absolute trash. I really, really appreciate it. We're getting close right now to the new member goal. I've got a new member video I'm uploading.
Yeah,
once we hit
he showed us his
goal, I will
setup. It's a
release
nice
it.
setup.
And I appreciate your help during this drive this week. And we'll
He's literally
talk
in a
again really
closet,
soon.
just about. It's a room the size of a closet in that big ass house he just built. He's got some new ones for today. A couple of them look really good. Yes, no, just one.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering. It's this video is coming out around 1 o'clock. Today's the big push. Here's a sample of as I push more memberships, I can cover spicier topics. So big push today to try and hit 200 new members. We're at 46 at the time of recording. So if you want to support the channel, I'll leave a link in the description and in the pinned comment. You can go join. I recommend Rare or Mythic. You know, there's good stuff going on in both. And we'll have more on that. I also have a couple of members-only videos already, and I plan on doing even more of those. Perhaps one about this later tonight. Now, have you noticed a lot of weirdness is going on out there? We've got the balloons. We've got, you know, all the information that they dumped about UFOs. Similar things. Lots of distractions, some people might say. I can't know for sure, right? But interestingly, people like Aaron Rodgers and Tom Green have pointed out what many of us are also curious about, and that is it a distraction to finally be, you know, just trying to distract people from the list? That's right, the list. Many people have speculated who's on the list to have visited that island, so to speak, an island where, you know, to be
List has been
fair,
released.
just because you went there doesn't mean you engaged in anything, you know, bad. It's possible, you know, just because you went there. I have questions about it. If you were there, what were you doing there? You know, what did you see? Certainly you saw something that should have been going on. Some of the people that have gone there many times, government leaders, things of that nature. You know, once their names are public, then more of the appropriate amount of pressure can actually be provided to them. You saw this video with Tom Green where he released, you know, saying they forgot to mention, hi, I'm Tom Green, and that forgot to mention the other reason this UFO information is coming out now is because they're trying to distract us from the fact that we're about to get released that list of visitors to the island, as well as what's going on in Palestine, Ohio, and everything going on in Ukraine. Like, I didn't know if this was real. Like, I thought it was like faked or something like that. But you know, it's nuts. But you know, even Aaron Rodgers floated conspiracy theories about the U.S. Okay, there is some wild stuff going on right now. Stuff that people are talking about. That, you know, perhaps they want to like slide in this potential list. Last night, a list was posted to the internet that many thought was real, but it turns out it was a little bit of an older one. With the real one, I assume everything I'm reading coming out, it could be any minute. If I had to guess, it'll be Friday afternoon, just as I'm starting my vacation. Oh, but you better believe I'm covering that. By the way, when I say vacation, I'm still going to be putting out videos. Just not as many. I'll just pick the top news stories of the day. So,
dude, take a real vacation.
Came out last night.
I know it's hard with YouTube.
You know, has the doc's been released? More than 3 years after his passing, it is said further claims surrounding him and associates are to be released publicly in the coming months. A February 2023 report by the UK newspaper Daily Mail claimed that a batch of the soon-to-be unsealed court documents expected to include information pertaining to at least one public figure will be published soon. However, according to one social media post, that moment has come even sooner than expected since the tweet claims that the papers are already online. A tweet by so-and-so, posted on the 14th of February yesterday, has been viewed by more than 100,000 times. It reads that the docs are out. It's 2,024 pages. Here's a partial list of the creeps that were on the island. The image below the tweet included a list of public figures. A follow-up tweet linked to the document. The most recent report by the Daily Mail mentioning soon-to-be-released papers included a court-filed declaration from February 7th last week. It refers to alleged perpetrators or individuals accused of serious wrongdoing. These individuals are not named in the filing. However, the documents shared on Twitter are not an early release of the unsealed papers. The papers currently online were released back in 2019. They are unsealed from a lawsuit brought by Virginia Guffrey, I think, against his ex-wife. It was filed in the Southern District of New York. as reported by the Mail, while the soon-to-be released documents are from the very same suit, they are not yet publicly available. The first release of the papers, archived by Insider, included a transcript of a 2013 interview where she described where she was giving hundreds of dollars of cash, luxury vacations, and shopping sprees by Jeffrey when she was just 15. It also included the names of celebrities of high-profile figures, including Prince Andrew and former President Bill Clinton. Crucially, the papers currently online are not the same as those talked about in the press at the moment. The fallout, of course, of her conviction and the 2019 passing of that loser, Jeffrey, has, of course, threatened the reputation of a number of high-profile figures. Is anybody out there just really surprised that she's still
just the ID
around?
and the socials all I'll need. If you have these two, these are just.
She must have agreed to keep the papers.
It's usually this,
she must have
this
agreed
or
to
the board
keep
versus
everything quiet or something like that.
This is your proof of identity.
I mean, what went on there is obviously terrible. This list that was on last night, that was out last night, is not the new list. But the new list is coming this week and probably Friday. I'm guessing 4 p.m. This will be huge. His associates will be exposed. Unsealing the documents containing the names of Jeffrey's associates and employees, as well as a few salacious claims to be released soon, according to the Daily Mail. This is referring to an article from a few days ago saying the final batch of documents containing these claims related to 160.
Some of the forms might ask for your ID number, so you might want to keep that available.
And those on the receiving end of his bad behavior will finally be unsealed nearly 4 years after he passed. The material will be made public in the coming months, and DailyMail.com can reveal it is expected to include information pertaining to at least one public figure. The documents referred to alleged perpetrators, individuals accused of serious wrongdoing, as well as law enforcement officers and prosecutors, according to declaration filed Wednesday. Yeah, I mean, like, what about all these sweetheart deals that were that happened? Like, to me, it's just like this weird thing. And of course, you guys know I'm an eternal optimist, and that's why you're clicking the join button right now, because you want to be an absolute hero. I could probably forgive someone to have, going there once. Let's say you didn't know, right? Some rich guy's like, I got a private island. You want to come visit? Okay, fine. It's possible that they didn't, that a certain person that came there didn't see anything or participate. It really is. However, if you're somebody that had been there a dozen times, 20, 30 times, 15 times, whatever, I have a different opinion of you. I strongly suspect that you probably know what was going on at minimum. And worst case, you were taking part in it. The remaining documents are now set to be released after dozens of John or Jane Does mentioned in the papers did not object to their names being made public, which DailyMail.com understands also includes the Duke of York. The individuals are not named in the February 8th filing. All of them appear set to be revealed when the documents are unsealed. Now, there are some lawyers that ask for, names to be redacted, especially if they were young at the time or things of that nature. It's so funny how quickly this story kind of went away. I mean, to be fair, both of them are in jail. Well, one of them's underneath it. But it was the whole story leading up to it, all the corruption, all these alleged, blackmail documents or whatever, if they exist, right? If they existed, why is she in jail? That's kind of what's a little curious of me. I suppose at some point they had to say, well, it's beyond, maybe she gets a light sentence. Maybe she gets the cushest possible penalties. Make no mistake about it. His wife was just as demonic as he was. And you have all these people that are coming out now. You have a huge list of people that will be named in this. It's going to be interesting when you got super big megastars like Aaron Rodgers talking about it. You got Tom Green talking about it. it's going to be interesting. My prediction stands Friday.
Guys,
5
start Monday. I
o'clock
wanted
is
to make
when
sure
it will
there's direct
drop,
deposit was right.
almost certainly. But it
Now,
doesn't
did you
matter
have your own
because
direct
I'm
deposit
here
you wanted to
and I
use,
will
or
work and I will
you wanted
cover
to
it.
use
So
one
if
of our
you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. You turn on your notifications, and if
Okay,
you haven't
that's
yet,
fine.
please
We'll
do
get that
consider
info from
joining.
you later.
I will leave a
Remind me
link in the
before you leave.
description to do that. This week is the biannual membership drive,
Let's see if we can
and
find something.
it would really help a lot if you just took a look at it. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.
Hey, you got to finish filling this out.
No, I got you. Yep, you're in here.
I figured it was. I was like, I know I did it. Send links all the time.
Let me get something else playing. Gotta have something playing in my ear all the time, or my ADD takes over. Here.
Katie,
Hi.
I didn't see you at the after-work slammer.
Yeah, I didn't make it.
Maybe you should think about loosening up.
Ken, I don't think that's a good idea.
I don't think it's a good idea either. I think that it's a policy.
Stop. That's sexual harassment.
No, you stop. Is it though? Notice the way Katie licked her lips when she was listening? Her subtle, slightly trampy body language. And don't even get me started on that top. Wait a minute, Regina. Aren't you sort of giving this guy a free pass? You shut your mouth.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and I guess I have to address the Sydney Watson lawsuit. I felt like I addressed it extraordinarily thoroughly.
I do have one more
several
spot
live
for
streams
Monday
and
at the
on a
veteran
very
facility
long
on Telegraph.
Twitter post. But people are still invading live
It's a
streams.
10-hour shift,
comment
but it's only 4
sections,
days a week.
demanding I
Monday through
say
Thursday.
more.
It's from
Apparently.
Okay,
saying
it's
I'm a
5 a.m. to
hypocrite for not
3:30
making
p.m.
200 videos about it.
It's a bit early, but
Apparently,
at least at 3:30,
I
when you get
have
up
a
at 3:30, at least
I
you
have
have
a
some of your day
suspicion
left.
that these are fans of perhaps
Okay.
those that are put in a negative light
process today, then.
by this lawsuit. But also, you know what? As a man, I try to be a man of integrity. I felt like doing the Twitter post was enough. Apparently, there's at least a small section of people that demand more. I have my suspicions on why they are demanding I talk about it. I think they believe that I will not be supportive of Sydney Watson, but unfortunately for them, I will be reiterating right now exactly what I said on Twitter, is that I 100% back Sydney Watson. And in her lawsuit, I feel like I understand why people are looking at this and thinking, a lot of it is in the wording of the lawsuit.
Remember the
Which
user
is
ID
all
and
really
password you
people
created?
have to see. And so I understand why people are reacting the way that they are.
I save them on a notepad.
But
too.
also, like, I'm trying not to get drug into court.
If you don't, I can reset
I'd
it.
rather just, handle my business and produce my 7 videos a day. And so I haven't really said much about it because, the fact of the matter is I do know more than what a lot of people do. I know a lot about it because I work with Sydney Watson, and Sydney Watson is my friend. I know Elijah Schaefer. I've hung out with Elijah Schaefer. I don't have anything personally against the man. If people are looking for, me to disavow him, certainly he's had some bad behavior. He was terminated from the Blaze for putting his hands on a woman who didn't want that. And so apparently it's extraordinarily difficult for people to understand that maybe he wasn't very, very nice guy, but I didn't have any bad interactions with him. And I figured I'll address it. And, to the people in my audience that are saying, Jeremy, we don't need you to address it. We totally understand. I appreciate that. And I'll use this opportunity to ask you to tune into Sydney and my show, Community Notes. We normally do it Thursday night, but tonight we're going to go live tonight because we have some travel stuff. So I hope I'll see you there. I'll leave a link in the description. So if nothing else, hopefully the people that are really angry about this, it backfires, and we get a bunch of new viewers on Community Notes. We've been doing the show for, I think, almost a year now, and I think it's really growing well, and I think you'll like it. And we also have, my editors doing clips, so people can consume the clips, quicker and things of that nature. And so I'd love to see you there tonight. So what's going on with Sydney Watson? Well, she has a lawsuit against the Blaze, and it is over some bad behavior that happened there. What people are focusing on, because that's all they have to focus on, are the black and white text that's in the lawsuit. And from what I understand, what I'm gathering is some law tubers said that they don't like the lawsuit, or that they don't think it's a good lawsuit. Hey, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. I'm seeing that. I don't know about that stuff. Obviously, also, there's some language in the lawsuit that, I understand people who are skeptical when it's like, oh, woman complains about being mistreated at work. Oh, sure, again, that kind of thing. And I admit that there certainly are many spurious lawsuits like this that should be bounced out of court. I do not believe that Sydney's case is one of those. What people are seeming to forget in the rush to criticize her, call her a feminist and things like that, SJW, is this woman has a body of work that has dozens of videos defending men.
To reset the password.
Dozens of them.
The username is
if you know her content, you know that she has a long history of not being an SJW or not being a feminist. Just because someone's pro-choice doesn't make them a feminist or a leftist or a far lefty or something like that. I'm not saying she does or doesn't. I'm just saying, like, she has a few more middle of the road opinions, but she's also extremely conservative, far more conservative than even I am. I think, so whatever happened, between her and her coworkers, that's going to get handled in court. I understand people feeling the way that they do about women in particular suing their employers for a toxic work environment. But, as somebody who, knows everybody involved here, the people who are publicly involved and people who are not publicly involved, it's tough. It's so much more than just, hey, this one employee was a little crass. So that's what everyone's basically saying, but that's clearly not.
You uploaded your resume too. Good.
I don't know.
It's good to have that. That way, if we
I think if
something
you
else
look at
comes
the
up,
outside,
it's a better opportunity for you. We'll let you know.
Obviously, the very public incident with a female coworker that got him fired for putting his hands on her.
Yeah, and if anyone ever tells me, they're like, "Oh, I can't afford Office to do a resume," I'm like, "Just go to Indeed." I said, "You can just plug in the blanks, and you can just download it, and it doesn't say Indeed on it anywhere."
His female producer quits. That's 4 women
The
right
way
there.
they
I'm sure
structure
they're
everything is
all
cool.
SJWs, right? They're
That's the
all
way most
SJWs.
they're looking for. So,
of course, I'm biased. Many of these women I know and I like. And I think I'm just not here to hear the Sydney slander. I understand why people feel this way, because you have, you only have the information from the lawsuit. I saw a lot of people.
that's what I do. I mean, besides this,
the
my
LawTube has been
secondary job,
amazing,
I do
but
IT
it's also created a
consulting
bunch of
for
little mini lawyers out there
a few
who are saying
healthcare
things like,
facilities in Ohio.
"Oh, well, curious timing of the lawsuit," or on everything else that goes on. Well, if you
I'm not a
lawsuit, these
coder or a
things take
designer,
months
so
and
I do
months
just
and
the
months and
nuts and
months
bolts part stuff.
before they're finally
Networking
public. This was obviously
but
underway.
that's the
for
thing
long
about
time
IT, though. There's so many different
when
areas
a company,
you can go into,
kind of
especially,
owns your
cybersecurity
brand and
all that
owns
good
your
stuff.
your
There's a
ability
lot,
to
and
earn
you can do
money
that on
and
the
things of
side
that
too.
nature.
I
It's a
do it
little
outside. I
different
use
than
a little
working
software
at a
program
company where
once
you
in
can
a while.
just
I get
quit
a
and
little
leave.
side job to do.
There are a lot of inner
I'll go out there
workings
for an hour and
where
they'll pay me $100.
these media companies, as you all saw with Daily Wire. Now, I don't know what her contract was like
So,
specifically there, but we know that contracts exist where these companies like own your YouTube channel, own your your Twitter stuff, or your likeness, your brand, your show. Maybe they own that, and that was a part of. Again, I don't know, but certainly there's a lot of issues there. People are really focusing on the more salacious details.
Now, have a
one
seat at that second
individual kind of
computer
being
there.
a
Now, we'll
crazy
tell you
person,
the internet's nice and fast
and
here,
they're saying,
but
"Oh,
these
they're
computers
just
are ancient.
jokes." Okay, well,
And they're trying to run Windows
multiple
10 on
women
there.
left the company
So they're
that
slow.
were in
So
his
when you do
immediate
click, it's going to be
circle.
slow to respond.
So sometimes when
Now,
you're
the
walking
username is
around
what you
all
made,
day
but the
saying
password is
something
what's on the paper
smells,
on the wall here. Okay, and it'll
and you
have you
think it's
change it to
everybody
what you're looking to.
else, perhaps you should look down at your own boot. Sydney Watson is my friend. I do not think in any way, shape, or form that she would be going down this road lightly. She knows that this makes her a toxic hire. She knows that. People think she doesn't know that. Like it's some kind of own. Of course, if you sue your former employer for this kind of thing, you're basically saying, I don't want to work in this. I know I won't be able to work in this space anymore. And, I think I admit that I am biased.
It's the temp 123 exclamation
because she's
point
my
with a
friend,
capital
but
T.
my bias is fact-based. You know what I mean? Like I have years of knowing this woman, how she acts on and off camera.
There you go.
She's
And
never
then
been
it'll have
anything
you
but
change it to what you want it to
professional
be.
and respectful and principled. So, yes, some women lie and do stupid lawsuits like that, but I don't believe that she is, because she had nothing of value to gain, by telling me as she struggled. This is a woman that, like, she literally has a hard time reading. She can't even read the YouTube chat because, she's so damaged from what had happened there. Super chats. There's a reason I can barely read, and I'm reading the super chats because I don't want her to see anything that is like heinous. This is a woman that had a grown man like freak out on her show, like all this stuff. Yeah, you can quit, but people are entitled to a normal work environment, and I think people are confusing this and thinking it's some sort of lawsuit against her one former coworker. That's not what it is. It's this person had been reported multiple times, and the bosses did nothing about it. And then he went on, and look what happened. He ended up getting fired for putting his hands on another woman that worked there. So I mean, I don't, I understand people's apprehension here, but also, like, I understand people wanting to like totally own me by saying, hey, you're not covering it. That makes you a hypocrite. I don't think so. I think I've been very clear. I will continue to do my show. I hope you come and see us tonight on Community Notes at 5:00 Central. We're going to be talking about, obviously, all the news today, a certain list perhaps coming out, and all of that. So
I'm remoted over here too, so I can see what.
I just think.
Okay, on this page, yeah, you got the right. The e-documents. Then you click on the green button there. It says Employee Start Wizard.
When you have
go ahead and
actual
maximize
evidence,
that window,
it's
and it's
just
mostly
in a
rules,
different
tax
position, and
forms,
I
I-9
understand
forms,
that
stuff
the
like
internet doesn't have these things right now. If it goes to trial, they will.
So you can see it.
But
Yeah, there should be a checkbox on the top and bottom, and I will be giving you a written copy of these as well.
Men many times in her career. She's not an SJW or a feminist, okay? And I believe very strongly that she has a lot of merit in her case, because I've seen firsthand what the experience there did to her. Now, you want to talk about this religious persecution, all these other meme points? I don't know. Lawyers write things, a certain way for certain things. I'm not a lawyer, okay? There may be aspects of the case that are whatever, but all I know is that, this is a woman that, left that job after begging for a very long time to have her boss, who continually promised that he would help her, do nothing about it. A woman who's had her career completely derailed by this, and a woman that I believe deserves to be made whole by the blaze. If you don't agree with that, that's awesome. That's the best part about it, and I'll read your comments in the comment section down below. But Sydney Watson is my friend. I've seen what happened there, what it did to her, and other women that worked there. So, yeah, I hope she wins, and I hope she I hope she, gets made whole here because she deserves it, in my opinion. So that's the last I'm going to talk about it. Please don't super chat asking about it, or tweet me asking about it, or email asking about it. I literally don't want to get sucked into the lawsuit. I'm a busy man. But I do a show with her, so I'm going to make a comment about it, and that's it. So I hope that satiates you. I feel like it will, and if it doesn't, well, I'm sorry, I guess.
All right.
What? You don't believe in fat acceptance and reparations for big-boned individuals? Send in Godzilla Karen immediately. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name's Ukradowski here of WeAreChange.org, and there is a lot of just absolutely crazy news to get into today. Not just domestically, not just what's happening in Ohio, but also internationally with what is happening with the call for a push for a one world government. We're going to be talking about that larger, nuanced idea here on this independent media broadcast, as well as some more troubling news for the American public and their crumbling infrastructure that the government will fix by making sure more white guys can work. Yes,
okay,
lots of crazy stuff happening. We're going to be talking
Yeah,
about
that
that.
form's
plus a
quirky.
lot
It
more.
wants you
If
to
like the
put
shirt
NA
that I'm
in those
wearing,
blank
you can get
spots
it
for some
on
reason.
thebestpoliticalshirts.com. And the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast was originally shared by @FightHaven on Twitter. And if you like combat sports, not really, but if you like crazy seeing people go wild, definitely go check them out. And what's the context of what was happening in this video clip? Well, we don't know. We have no idea who was wronged. We have no idea what's going on. But I think it's fair to say the mental health of this country is not improving. It's actually doing the opposite of that, as well as, of course, everyone's overall health, especially if you live in a major thoroughfare or major transportation hub. This, as just moments ago, Tucson, Arizona was given a shelter-in-place order due to a hazardous toxic chemical leak that happened on the highway. This, of course,
Now, the new
minor
federal
compared
form,
to
I don't know
what's
if you've had
happening
to
right
fill this
now in
one out
East
before.
Palestine, Ohio, where we get
Basically, if
images
you're just
like
claiming
this
yourself,
coming
you don't
up
have to
from
do anything.
passengers who
Check
are
that
flying
box,
airplanes near the
and you go
region
down to
and
here,
are
you just put
documenting
step 5 to sign
these
it, and the rest is
photos
just a
from
worksheet.
the chemical fire and
But if you
train
do, if you
derailment
have
there
you're
after
a
the
dependent that you want to claim
controlled
beside
release
yourself,
of chemicals into the air that the government says, yeah, it's completely
I
fine.
think the state is
Completely
still the
safe.
same it used
Don't
to
worry,
be.
the
Now, this
air
is
is
all,
safe to
what's
breathe.
funny
Yeah,
is all
yeah,
those
we told
blanks
you
there
to
on the
run away
worksheet,
for a little bit, but
it doesn't matter
come
what you put
back
into
in
it. It
right
doesn't
now.
change
The
anything
government
about it.
never
I
lies.
don't know
It's
why
very
it's even part of
trustworthy.
the
This,
form
as we're getting more and more
It should be
accounts
good,
of
just 'cause they're not
wildlife
into
in the area suffering major illnesses, including a fox farm that is reporting that many of its foxes are, quote, now mortally ill, with one of them passing away recently. This has another woman who lives 10 miles away from East Palestine documented how her chickens just dropped dead.
So I walked up to the cage, and this is what I found.
Amanda Brashears was going to feed her 5 hens and rooster this morning when she discovered them all lifeless, practically in the same position, with no signs of a predator entering their enclosure.
I'm beyond upset and quite panicked because they may be just chickens, but they're family.
Brashears says her chickens were alive and well yesterday. She believes the smell following the detonation of the train carrying
I just
chemicals
put
that
today's
derailed
date,
in East
2/15.
Palestine is to blame for her bird's sudden death.
My video camera footage shows my chickens were perfectly fine before they started this burn. And as soon as they started the burn, my chickens slowed down and they died. If it can do this to chickens in one night, imagine what it's going to do to us in 20 years.
And you got to be clucking kidding me. 20 years? It doesn't take usually that long for hazardous chemicals to, of course, impact your body. All of this as the U.S. federal government has been kind of quiet around this issue, not really intervening, not really getting involved here.
And box 6, you'll put a 1
especially
for
with the
yourself.
severity of this incident.
Yeah.
What are they doing? What are they busy doing right now? Well, Pete Buttigieg is talking about how there's too
Done
many
online.
white
No,
guys
we'll
in
use this login
construction. Yes,
after
as
today. This
Ohio is burning.
IEScorp.net.
Pete
I'll write it down for you.
Buttigieg, the media
Actually,
CIA
I'll write it on my
darling that is
password.
supposed to be pushed to be running for
That
president of the
website
United States,
is where you'll be able to check
talking
your pay
about
stubs.
racism in
So where it's
construction
at, like pay
during,
history
of
there.
course, fancy dinners and galas at conferences. This says Buttigieg has blatantly ignored the huge mushroom cloud over Ohio while preaching to
Have a
us the
seat at that gray
importance
table.
of equity
Bring you
and
some,
diversity in construction. Not
specific
just
for this
talking
job.
points, but plans that already have been implemented within many sectors of our economy, specifically the airline industry, which, as of late, we've been hearing about a lot of mishaps, a lot of accidents, a lot of pilot error. This as this woke equity affirmative action policy has already impacted major airlines like United Airlines that no longer hire a pilot because of their abilities, but because of their skin color. Yes, you heard that correctly. Now, major airlines like United are looking at the skin color of their pilots as the main criteria of their hiring, according to individuals like Tucker Carlson, who just did a segment on it last night. His segment is definitely worth watching, as United openly brags how they plan on having 50% of their pilots, nearly 5,000 of them, in the next decade to be, quote, women or people of color. Not hiring the best person for the job, but hiring for the person that makes their ESG score go up. This, as we have seen similar calls by major institutions like the New York Times calling for, quote, the end of all male, all white cockpits. And you know what? Maybe they're right. Maybe we haven't done enough for all the different people out there. This is why I think we should definitely have handicap and blind.
Do you have that
pilots.
direct deposit info with
It's
you?
only fair that we reverse the discrimination against
If you can,
blind
can you, if
people
it'll
by
let you,
making
can you
them pilots.
screenshot it and just
Just as
text it to
even
the
Elon
office
Musk
number?
responded to United announcing this by, of course, putting up the party face emoji. All of this as this doctrine, of course, first emanated from major prestigious college institutions that now are also accepting students just for writing hashtag Black Lives Matter 100 times on their application. Yes, you heard that correctly. Stanford just accepted a teen that wrote a hashtag Black Lives Matter 100 times on their application. NBC News wrote that this was a short but very powerful message that is helping this teen be on the path to success. And even as a fellow person of color, this is absolutely insane and ridiculous. And if you can't see it, you're either too afraid to address it or you're just not paying attention. Unlike all the members of LukeUncensored.com that are paying attention, that are extremely smart, as we are all talking to each other, a part of our quasi-secret, not so secret platform and organization, not really an organization, on LukeUnfiltered.com. It's our own members area. We will have a special video available for you right after this one, as well as continuing the larger conversations between you and me through our forum. The conversations have been incredible, have been really awesome, and really shows us what kind of members that are well informed, better informed than almost the average American person can do when they finally start getting together and at least expressing and talking about very important ideas. In the last two videos, I talked about my upcoming project of launching a live stream. To hear about my upcoming projects, to even decide who my co-host is going to be, join LukeUncensored.com and start to participate in the forum, as this is an awesome place to exchange ideas and meet like-minded individuals. All of that is possible, plus a lot more on our members area, LukeUnfiltered.com. See you there right after this broadcast. As of course, we're not done here and still have to jump into our main topic. And that topic, of course, is the New World Order, something that we have been talking about from, I think, the very beginning of our existence here on this particular platform, something that has been, of course, ridiculed, ostracized, said it doesn't exist. There's major industries like Hollywood, of course, always using this term. Politicians have been using this term. Central controllers have been using this term, but there still is a concerted effort to try to, of course, stifle the real conversation when it comes to this larger globalistic concept known as the New World Order. And no, I'm not talking about a new Marvel movie. I'm talking about the idea of a centralized government that, of course, has its tentacles in almost every aspect of your life, launching a total control grid of what they call, quote, global order. This is another kind of buzzword used by many internationalists and globalists, just like we recently seen used by foreignaffairs.com, talking about how Ukraine is the contingency of global order. Now, these descriptions are of transforming society for the liking of the few people that, of course, already have way too much power and control in our society. And many times, politicians who usually sell out the most are the ones who call for it the most. George Bush Sr., of course, is one of those politicians, a man of the CIA that has also called for this, especially in his 1990 speech, calling essentially for a world order, which generally is just a blanket statement used by many politicians to call for more power and authority for themselves. A lot of these politicians usually have the same kind of policies like George W. Bush has, like Nikki Haley has, like, of course, Joe Biden have, that are very pro-establishment, pro-globalization, pro-international banking corporate state, and counter to, of course, many populist nationalistic policies that they have set as their main enemy that stands in their way of the subjugation of the human free spirit. It definitely looks like a lot of the same politicians calling for a new world order definitely read from the same script, as they openly call for mass migration, big tech censorship, divide and conquer agendas, building back better, a great reset, and of course, how can we not forget making the weather gooder? Yes. This, as of course, the new president of Brazil, who also has extensive ties to the World Economic Forum and China, just met with, of course, the current president of the United States, the puppet, Biden himself, where the two openly discussed about building a world government, setting up global governance, all in order to make the weather gooder. There's even an entire summit dedicated to world governments, which the head of the United Nations just addressed moments ago, as well as Elon Musk, that actually very interestingly had a very counter message to what a lot of people were expecting at this conference, and pretty much summarized his speech and said, you know, maybe it's not the best thing to put all of our eggs in one basket. This is exactly what he had to say.
One thing I should say, and I know this is called the World Government Summit, but I think we should be maybe a little bit concerned about actually becoming too much of a single world government. If I may say, that we want to avoid creating a civilizational risk by having, frankly, this may sound a little odd, too much cooperation between governments. If you look at, say, the history and the rise and fall of civilizations, really all throughout history, civilizations have risen and fallen, but it hasn't meant the doom of humanity as a whole, because there've been all these separate civilizations that were separated by great distances. And so, say like while Rome was falling, Islam was rising, and so you had like the sort of caliphate doing incredibly well while Rome was doing terribly, and that actually ended up being the source of preservation of knowledge and many scientific advancements. And so, so I think we want to be a little bit cautious about being too much of a single civilization, because if we are too much of a single civilization, then the whole thing may collapse. I'm obviously not suggesting war or anything like that, but I think we want to be a little bit wary of actually cooperating too much. It sounds a little odd, but we want to have some amount of civilizational diversity such that if something does go wrong with some part of civilization, that the whole thing doesn't collapse, and humanity keeps moving forward.
And even though many times I don't agree with Elon Musk, he does make a very solid point here against the larger concept of where we all have been going to, and that is the total control of human society that, might not be the best for everyone. Maybe everyone under the same umbrella, under the same ruler, under the same laws, or boot as it should be called, maybe isn't the best diverse approach towards existing on this planet. And I would absolutely agree with him, as of course, throughout human history, there has always been a group of individuals that have tried to subjugate the entire world for themselves. Fewer people, control of many people leads to, of course, many problems. And the more you centralize authority, the more you centralize decisions for yourself that someone else is making for you, the more problems you have in your life. And this is why decentralization has been one of the biggest things that I have been advocating for throughout my entire career, because when you have decentralization, you have individual choices and decisions made by persons that represents the biggest minority of them all, the individual. I don't want no bureaucrat telling me how to live. I don't want no bureaucrat telling me what I should believe in, what I should listen to, what I can't listen to. And slowly and surely, especially with the larger technological advancements, with the fourth industrial revolution, this is a path that we're moving towards that, of course, we should be stopping and at least negotiating and having a larger conversation about, and we're not. Now, of course, Elon Musk said a lot during his speech to the World Government Summit, and we're going to be clipping some of those on our YouTube channel. As of course, he also talked about a universal basic income, aliens. We're going to be clipping those and making those into shorts specifically on our YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, click the subscribe button and the notification button, and don't forget to check out our shorts, as this is one way that, of course, we're helping get a lot of this information out there to the general public. Now, I know a lot of what I said in this video has been sort of a little vague here, but when you look at the trajectory of where humanity is heading, it is headed towards a new world order. It is headed towards more centralization. It is headed towards more laws, more rules, more regulations that, of course, stifle human growth and prosperity, while allowing some of the most powerful people in this world to become more powerful, more greedy, and more rich. And that trajectory is not one that I want myself and my future children to be on. What about you? If you agree, share this video with your friends and family members. If you disagree, I especially want to hear your comments down in the comment section below. I wouldn't be here for you guys actively watching and sharing these videos. I got one more video coming your way here on LukeUncensored.com. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org.
You use this to fill this out. So you keep that. This you fill out, turn back in. This is just a signature register. We keep this on file for the Food and Drug Administration. So print, sign, initial, just that top line there. I don't know. This is just an acknowledgement that you've got a copy of the rules and that you're going to follow them. So all you do on this page is print, sign, and date. I do the bottom here where it says training. This page, read them rules, sign, date, print, initials. I do the bottom where it says training. And there's some multiple choice questions. It's not a pass-fail thing. The answers are in there, but if you can't find it, ask me. I'm going to tell you what it is. The goal is to make sure you understand it, because if you miss anything, I got to go over it again. All right. If you have any questions while you're going through that, please ask them. Let's try something else. I like the Luke. Anything new? Shorts.
I'm a 35-year-old white man. Harrison, born Antoine Smalls, has transracial identity, identifying as Harrison Booth, a 35-year-old white man from Colorado. And when did you know that you were a 35-year-old white man? Well, I've always felt different. I go to the store and movies and just be thinking to myself, like, why am I not getting the respect I deserve? And then it just hit me. I'm white and 35. I just miss Colorado sometimes. You know, here I pretend to buildings out of old San Juan mountain range, but, you know, the job's just here. And where do you work? I'm a systems engineer for Coca-Cola. Oh, okay.
That boy don't want, he go to school and that's it. One day he said, call me Harrison. I said, who's that? He said, me.
Do you believe that he is a white man?
I mean, he isn't. I'd love to wake up one day and say, hey, everybody, I'm Rihanna. But I ain't.
That white guy is definitely not getting promoted anytime soon. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name is Luke here of wearechange.org, and we have a plethora of absolutely mind-boggling news to get into, as of course the situation has turned for the worse, not just here domestically inside of the United States, but also in our airspace, as there are a lot of questions, a lot of concerns, and UFOs, along with, of course, quote, controlled releases. Yeah, there's a lot of bull crap the government is selling you. I ain't buying it, and that's why we're going to be talking about that, plus a lot more here on this independent media broadcast. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing, you can get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com, and the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast, we hope is a skit, but with how crazy our entire timeline is, who in the world knows? To be real with you, I don't know who did this, but this is absolutely hilarious. If you know the creators of hopefully a skit, please let me know down in the description below so we can attribute their YouTube channel, as this little clip that we played at the beginning of this broadcast definitely made me cackle like Kamala. And hey, if Malcolm X could do it, this guy could do it too. But very oddly, we don't see a lot of people of color claiming that they're white, huh? I wonder why that is. This, as the suburbs have been very dramatically hit, especially by the opioid epidemic engineered by the government and Big Pharma, which we're still continuing to see the ramifications of, especially when it comes to all the fentanyl overdoses. But if it's not suburban druggies to look out for, it's definitely suburban train derailments, which have been happening a lot, the latest of which has happened in Texas. This, as there is still a lot of questions about what actually happened in East Palestine, Ohio, where the government officials are being very hush-hush on what, and now what we are finding out is to be toxic chemicals that have been released to the environment in a, quote, controlled release. With now the government authorities telling you, yes, the air is safe to breathe. Now, where have I heard that before? What has happened? Oh yeah, they lie all the time about that. Just like they did on 9/11, just like they did with depleted uranium, just like they did with the radioactive and chemical experimentation on unsuspecting populations of major cities before. And when it comes to the US government releasing hazardous chemicals to the general public, a lot of the times they do this deliberately, all in the name of, quote, experimentation. And then decades and decades later about it, we find out that, yeah, that there actually is some really sinister things related to what the government was doing. So now with the government telling everyone, trust us, no, absolutely not. No, thank you. This is the same people that send human beings into solitary confinement for their political beliefs while letting their cities run rampant with crime, to the point where in Washington, D.C. right now, officials at George Washington University are warning their students that they need to stop wearing pricey jackets because they are making themselves a target for thieves around the college. Yes, you heard that correctly. This as crime, especially robberies in Washington, D.C., have dramatically increased, and now university officials are literally telling their students to dress down because it's too dangerous to look nice. That's the type of society we're paying some of the highest tax rates to live in. This says inflation, according to the official numbers, has risen 0.5%, but as you know from being at the supermarket, that number probably is a lot higher. This says the inflation numbers, even by the official accounts, have risen more than it was expected to go up, and with the purchasing power of the dollar and your currency going down that you worked so hard to earn, the European Central Bank has some jokes for you guys and some poems, as they just tweeted, "Roses are red, violets are blue. We will stay the course and return inflation to 2." Nice to know that they have a sense of humor as they're literally screwing the people of Europe over and robbing them of their wealth and money. PyQ had a response with his own poem saying, "Roses are red, chocolates are brown, central banks are useless, they can't get inflation down." Federico Rivi had another version of this saying, "Roses are red, violets are blue, inflation is theft, you are doomed." There's another great depiction here of exactly what the European Central Bank is really trying to tell you. This as our ever online reality that's being interwoven, especially now with central bank digital currency trials, essentially is having us return to being peasants on the farm who actually statistically had it a little bit better than we do right now in some circumstances. And that's why during these very difficult times, as your money becomes worthless, it's important to invest in one of the most important things that you can invest in. And that, of course, is knowledge and information, which we strive to collect for you and highlight to you on LukeUnfiltered.com. This is our own website where we get to say and do what we want, but more importantly, host content that we cannot host on any other platform other than our own. We get to say and do whatever we want here, and we will have a special video ready for you right after this one with some very eye-opening, important perspectives that we will only be able to share there. You not only get a new video report almost every single day, but also you get to ask me questions directly, which I will answer, and I am continuing to answer the plethora of incredible questions by many of our members on our AMA through our forum, where you get to meet the huge, incredible number of individuals, and we have a lot of incredible members, a lot of them that know more than the average person out there, lots of really illuminating conversations, great people, great solutions, all on LukeUncensored.com. If you haven't signed up yet, what are you waiting for? Sign up right now and become a member of our not so quasi secretive, really kind of a public collective on LukeUnfiltered.com, and I will see you there right after this broadcast. As of course, we are still not done here, as international relations between China, the United States, and Russia haven't really been that great as of late, especially with the major interference of balloons, which now the Chinese government is accusing the United States of flying over China allegedly 10 times. This after a major Chinese spy balloon flew over the United States and was shot down. Now, could these balloons be a bigger distraction, especially with the latest objects that were just shut down over North America, to larger saber rattling that's happening between China and potentially even Russia? This as Romania is, quote, detecting suspicious weather balloons over its airspace. Russia has just deployed one of their nuclear-armed ships for the first time in 30 years, and the U.S. Embassy is telling American citizens in Russia that they should leave Russia immediately and, quote, exercise increased caution due to the risk of being wrongfully detained. Now, obviously, geopolitically, we are not in a very good situation. We're actually in a very dangerous situation that, of course, could escalate at any moment in time, and, of course, endanger all of human civilization. This is why some of the latest revelations, especially from the Pentagon, are a little bit confusing to say the least, as it looks like there are elements of the U.S. government that are nudging the American public towards believing that there are aliens. Why do they want us to believe this during these key critical times of national foreign policy upheaval? Well, That's a good question that I think a lot of people should be asking themselves, as the Pentagon just came out and officially said that there was no debris that have been recovered from the third down object over Alaska and Canada, leaving many people saying no debris. Why? What's going on here? Just as U.S. Senator Marco Rubio has come out and said that there's been UFOs that have been routinely operating over restricted U.S. airspace. This says, of course, there's a lot of weird statements, there's a lot of rumors, there's a little bit of information released to the general public, and then absolute silence and no response from government officials that act like they're hiding a secret here. This says the U.S. government has now set up a new task force for aliens and UFOs. This as U.S. Senator John Kennedy, I think, had the best perspective here, as he even came out and talked about how the intelligence agencies have been stonewalling him from even finding out what's really going on here.
Well, Brian, if you are confused, you understand the situation perfectly. 10 days ago, we were led to believe that our skies are clear. And now all of a sudden we've got spy balloons and unidentified objects raining down on us like confetti. We have had one briefing by, I'll say, junior members of the Intelligence Committee. We're going to have another one today at 10 o'clock. I've listened to a lot of folks go on your show and others and talk about what's going on. But the truth is, I don't think anybody except the members of the Intelligence Committee know jack. And that's kind of where we are, but the American people deserve to know what's going on.
Now, with everyone but the intelligence agencies not knowing jack of what's going on here, what does a former intelligence agency have when it comes to his understanding of the current situation? Well, former intelligence agent and now whistleblower Edward Snowden came out and said this, quote, "It's not aliens. I wish it were aliens, but it's not aliens. It's just the old engineered panic and attractive nuance ensuring national security reporters get assigned to investigate balloon bullcrap rather than budgets or bombings, a la Nord Stream. Quote, until next time." And when you kind of think about what Edward Snowden is talking about, especially with the latest bombshells that happened, with the information that came out pointing to the United States being responsible for the Nord Stream pipeline bomb, you think about how that story was derailed, along with, of course, all the other chemicals in Palestine, Ohio, that the government officials are not even letting us know about. Obviously, it's fair to speculate that the government dangling little UFO aliens around your face right here could be a perfect distraction from any kind of accountability when it comes to these larger issues that actually do affect you, that there should be some responsibility for, but they won't, because UFOs. That's personally what I think is going on here. What do you think is going on here? I personally agree with Edward Snowden. If you don't, I definitely want to hear your perspective down in the comment section below. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys commenting and being a part of this independent media organization, and this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org. One more video coming your way right now on LukeUncensored.com. See you there.
I'm just gonna put on display a little bit the management of our township as it's going right now, and I guess we'll probably see if I suspect in my dealings with Joni before, I think we'll probably see why it is that she's trying to get somebody else to do the job for her, because I don't think she's capable or competent enough to do this job. So we'll go see if we can just get a simple permit here at Bedford Township today. As I pointed out before, instead of doing anything, to get a zoning administrator here in the township so we can have building permits and such, instead they're having emergency short notice meetings to push through the agenda to get somebody to do her job for her, which we need to do the right thing. If she won't resign and we need to get her recalled, I guess we'll have to wait a year if we're going to have to wait on that. But I think we can get the township together enough to, get the resignation we need here. But let's just go see. Let's go see. Let's give them a chance and see if they can accomplish a simple permit. And, by the way, AT&T, my bell, you left your cross box open here on Yildrix Avenue. You get that closed up. So 2 phone lines in there. All right. Now the carrot is gone, so that's where you would have gotten the building permits. And I guess we're gonna have to go to the clerk's office now to get them. I don't think anybody is here. Yeah, it does not appear anybody is in there. I guess I'll have to go bother my own wife at her office. All right. Hey, babe.
What are you doing?
I was just gonna come get a permit. Where's
Not
the
today.
Where's the clerk?
We are a ghost ship.
Oh,
Literally a ghost ship.
oh man, let me get this turned down so they'll probably keep calling now. That's hilarious. So the clerk or her deputy is not here?
No, nope. You're looking at the whole ship right here.
Joni's not here either?
Nobody.
Not here today.
I had no idea until like 5 minutes ago. Some guy came in for a permit, and I was like walking around, and I was like, is there any cars on the parking lot? They're all gone.
What did he do for his permit?
Well, he left for the 5th time. Yeah, he's been here 5 times to his permit, but they keep telling him that we have this permit for him, and we
Oh,
can't
man.
even get
I got your text.
program that we're the treasury. We're not building and zoning.
Did they tell you when they'll be back today or if they're coming back or anything?
Nothing.
No.
I didn't even know they were gone.
Hey, I checked the township website. It didn't say anything about any departments being closed. Anybody not being here.
But let me see if we can still help. I'll
Okay.
go check in our reserve paperwork
All right.
and see if I can find a permit for you, a blank permit. That's the best I can do.
Appreciate
And
it.
that's,
Appreciate it.
bad. It's better than nothing. We try not to have people leave with no help whatsoever. but
So did,
that poor dude.
so he's already got a permit filled out. He just can't give it to anybody?
Yeah, no, he's got it. It's I guess it's all accepted. He's coming to pick it up or whatever. And I'm like, I don't have anything. Don't know about it. Didn't
Wow.
know you were coming in. Somebody knew, but not me.
Yeah.
The box is empty. There's no blank permit.
And I can't even get a blank one,
I can't even give him a blank one. I'm sorry.
I
Put the
kn-
project on hold, honey.
I noticed there wasn't even any of the 20 cops here.
Is that
What about Mike Salvio?
Huntington
Not
Bank?
here today either?
No, he's gone too. That's dude. We had to go check the parking lot. I literally couldn't believe it, and I went out there and I was like, oh, we're in.
Maybe she's off finding somebody that knows how to do her job. I hear she's really beating the bushes for somebody willing to do her job.
Oh, you're talking about the. Yeah, I gotcha. I didn't even know. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I feel sorry for the residents. I really do. I have went around this circle many, many, many years ago in my township, which is not around here, but
Right.
in my township, a similar thing happened, and we couldn't get our building permits, our electrical permits. They just kept running us around in circles, and I really felt sorry for this guy.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on.
Well, there's people that are willing to do the supervisor job and do it well. It's been done well here before. Wow.
What we need.
This is as bad as I've seen it. This is the worst I've seen it.
Well, we need a building and zoning person.
Yeah.
We need somebody in here.
Yeah.
We're approaching spring. People, and as nice as the weather has been, people are really thinking, hey, I want to put up that carport. I want to put up a garage. I want to put up, a pole barn. And they can't.
Well, it's nice of y'all to do it, but I really don't think the treasurer's office should be having to constantly, on top of all the treasury work, also have to be the office manager and the receptionist and the secretary. And, that's a bit much.
Building
Yeah.
and zoning.
Yeah.
We're the only ones here, so right now we're everything.
Well, you don't have any political hobnobbing to do in meetings downtown, so that probably just leaves you to do your work that you're supposed to be doing.
I wonder about everything. I wonder.
Hey, well, I gotta at least say, for Joni's credit, she's openly admitting that she wants the township to pay someone else to do her job for her so she can just go to political events, show up to meetings and stuff. It's pretty brazen. It's the most brazen thing I've ever heard. Short of, no, not the most. I think it's the second most, because the most brazen thing I've ever heard was her openly telling the township now repeatedly that this superintendent plan is to subvert the voters. She's openly said repeatedly that this is to avoid the problem of the uneducated voters voting in an uneducated supervisor and stopping the government initiatives that need to continue.
I can't make a comment because
Yeah, openly, no, out of her own mouth, live videos, repeatedly, she said that that this is going to take care of the ongoing problem they've had of bad elections for the supervisor.
man, right? If you want to try to get that friggin'
Do you have steel toe
permit,
boots
you're gonna have to
or
call
shoes?
Emmett Township.
Okay. What size do you wear?
Borrowing their dude.
Emmett Township. So I just call Emmett Township office and ask them.
His last name is Getty.
You get it?
Yeah.
All right.
And he's the same building and zoning guy. Yeah. Supposedly he's on temporary assignment here, is what we've been told.
They should have like a courtesy phone out then where people can.
I thought about that. I actually thought about that last night. Like,
Should be a little you got it button to reach them over at the other building if that's how it is.
somebody wants a supervisor, they can call the supervisor, and then I go all the way to the supervisor's office, and I'm like, what the heck?
Well, I can't wrap my head around the fact that if she doesn't want to do the job, is incapable of doing the job to the point where she's trying to get a superintendent hired to do it for her, why in the world did she get rid of her competent deputy supervisor before doing anything different? Was it just to create this urgency in Bedford? It seems like she's just trying to create problems so that people think, yeah, we need to hire a superintendent.
That's a possibility. Never looked at it that way. I never thought that either. That's very possible. We got a phone call coming in.
All right, let's see if I can get a hold of this you got it guy. Y'all have a good day. Love you. Wow.
I have a men's 7, which is equivalent. Unless you want to just go out and get your own pair. Yeah, we'll try. They're relatively new. Just we cleaned out a bunch of lockers the other day, and the women's one I have are tiny, like 4s and 5s.
So there we go. Another good example of Miss always in her office, always returns her calls. She's of course never returned any of my calls or emails. And only time I've ever found her here at the office when I came, the police came and harassed me for nearly an hour. So I'm gonna see if I can look back through the comments.
They'll work for you. I'm pretty sure they're until you have to go out and grab some. These are shoes too, so they're not even boots. So it's
Bruce,
nice.
Lenny, brother, good to see you. Bethany, thanks for tuning in. Engineer X, good to see you. Chris Surse. Trying to race through here. Yeah, Erica's manning the ship by herself, her inner deputy. YouTube user, good to see you. Seek and Destroy, good to see you. Rebecca Bull, good to see you. Haven't heard back from the FBI, Rebecca. Melissa Stedman, good to see you. Cammed Up Caveman, good to see you. All right. Well, Yeah, y'all see the program. That's what's going on. They're apparently just trying to, not do the job until the residents, submit to hiring a new unelected person who they've openly announced is going to be some career government insider to work in chorus with the new attorneys running the township to totally get around any problems that the voters might cause by, electing someone into a position, of representation. So apparently they're very clear in their minds that none of them stand a snowball's chance in hell of getting reelected. So they're trying to get everything fixed around in advance before the next election rolls around or before recall times are available. But all right, I just wanted to get a view of that. I'm going to have to hang up here and see if I can get a hold of this guy to get a permit. Wow. God bless y'all. Try and hold your government to account and stick up for each other's rights. All right. Going to see if we can transact some simple business at the township here. Been told I got to call the neighboring township now. Let me get busy with that. Hey Google, call Emmett Township.
I'm not seeing that name. What's the spelling?
Hey Google.
Yeah, Emmett Charles.
Good afternoon, Douglas.
Gun permits or incident reports, please press 1. To speak to Department Administration or the Office of the Chief, please press 2. To speak to an on-duty officer or dispatcher, please press 3. For our dial by name directory, please press 4. For general information or questions, please press 0.
Said this was their main township office number, so let's hear about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
They need to fix their website.
No worries.
You have reached the voicemail box for Loretta Pena, Office Manager for Emmett Township Public Safety. If you're getting this recording, it means that she is on the other line helping another customer.
Blue brush question everybody misses. The blue brush question is kind of a trick question. The blue brushes are for the machines, but the conveyor belt itself is considered a food contact surface. So it'd be wider. Everybody. I even missed that one when I took it. Everybody misses it. I think that it's just
26996803335.
Yeah, see if you've ever done the test before. Because if you get it right, I always say, "Okay, you've seen this before."
Thank you for calling the Charter Township of Emmett. If you have an emergency, please hang up and dial 911.
No food in your locker. There's a place in the break room.
Hours Monday through Thursday from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. excluding holidays.
Good.
Please listen to the following options so you can be directed to the appropriate department.
And most of the stuff is on the walls, the color coding of the brushes and scoops, to just remind you as you're working. Of course, they wouldn't have you do anything.
Township supervisor, please press 3.
But it's good to have a good idea as far as that goes. The MSDS sheets are in the break room, so you have access to them. You got that right. So, do you have any questions?
Department and zoning administrator, please press 6.
I'll write it down for you. It's on Telegraph. It's 15610 South Telegraph. Okay. So I know if you're not from here.
I'm like, I'm kind of new.
If you've ever seen, have you been to the Social Security office here?
Oh, I haven't been there.
But you know where it's at? It's just down, just a little bit farther south from there. It's not far. Uniforms are real simple. You do have to have the steel toes. They prefer that you carry them to work and change into them at work just for contamination reasons. There's lockers there and stuff, so you can just
This
grab
is
a locker
Jason
if you
Getty,
want.
Planning and Zoning Administrator
Jeans.
with Emmett Charter Town.
Yeah, I have a bunch of those.
Okay.
So-
And no stretch pants or anything like that. No leggings.
I will return your call. Thank you.
Plain white T-shirt. Now, if it's kind of cool out too, they'll let you wear a hoodie or anything like that too. But you have to take the string out. They don't want it accidentally getting caught in the machine.
Or press pound for further options.
It's right next to a place called Paul's Collision Center. Is the best way to.
Hello, Mr. Ugeti.
You'll see
This is
like
Justin
Enterprise
Schatz.
Rent a Car, Paul's Collision.
Calling you
and
about
it's
a
right
permit
next door.
over in
It has the
Bedford,
address. I'm writing the
Township.
address here for you,
I was
but
told
it
to
doesn't say.
contact you.
It hasn't.
If you can give me a call back, my number is 269-838-7468. Thank you very much. Good to see you, YouTube user, and Bethany, Sweden Observer.
I got you.
Direct
Deposit info, that's all good. Everything on as far as your paperwork looks great. You think you'd be able to start Monday?
Of course.
Okay.
I'll
write on here 5
German
a.m. to
MG42,
3:30.
good to see you. Yeah, so I
I'm
was
gonna write down a few
checking it
names
out.
here too of the people that they kind of rotate who
Michael-
starts the shift
Michael
up.
Barnard, good to see you.
But the big boss over there, her name's Carrie.
Yeah, so
She's cool.
nobody's at
They're all pretty
at
cool.
Bedford.
I don't work
There's
with people that
there's
aren't
no
cool.
even blank permit forms there.
You got Carrie,
they
then you
haven't
have
told
Ruth.
the only people who are working, which is the treasurer's office, what's going on.
Yeah, we just started a new one.
I contacted this supposed to be alternate. It is not an answer. I left a message. You know, it says they're there till 5.
Oh,
I
good.
guess
Everybody
we'll
made it
see.
second shift.
You know, this is just this is somebody getting paid for not doing the job. You know, and they've been given raises.
Cody's a newer one, but he's still a good guy.
Just
Almost everybody
not
who's
only
works over there
without a
started
board
through us.
vote,
Okay?
not even
technically, we're not
any
Vectrum.
public
We're
notice
Impact
to the
Employment.
township.
We're the staffing company for them mainly.
And major raises, big raises.
After 500 hours,
And
you're eligible to
just
get hired
that,
in.
But expanding roles.
If you're showing up every day and you're doing a decent job, you're going to get hired. And the benefits are really nice. It starts at 14 an hour.
Hiring of a
But
superintendent,
definitely,
you know, as well. And it continues to compound. And there are people getting paid for not doing their job.
Well, it's funny too because we have techs.
For example,
at
when I was
the detox center that I do IT work for.
supposed to meet 4 times a year.
Initially, they were only starting them at
they
13
meet
an
like
hour. I was like,
15 times.
I'm
a
paying
year
more at a
plus.
food production plant, you guys. So they bumped it up
And,
to 16, but it's okay. It's like,
You know, they get paid for every meeting approval. And that's the same thing with those trustees and all that. All these extra secret, you know, closed door meetings and emergency, unplanned, short notice meetings, all this stuff. They're all getting paid.
That's the vital info you need. It's the address, the time.
It's the, you know, it's the.
I don't know if you ever have any questions or anything. The easiest way is to call the office
All that
number.
kind of
If
stuff.
nobody answers,
Vote on giving
you can
your
leave a
friends
voicemail, but I don't only check that once a day. Text but you can.
Anyways,
text the
we're
office.
just trying to check up and see
and it comes
how
to my
good
phone.
of a job
Cell
we're
phone.
getting.
Like I said,
done by
and
this
it'll come through
person
with
who supposedly
your info
knows better than
because I've already
any of
put it in
us
the system.
that
right?
we don't know
If
how
you
to
text my
run.
personal number, I'm not gonna recognize
Sounds
the
like
number.
the main
so
person
it's-
who doesn't know how to run the township.
Like I said, I only answer calls from people in my contacts to my cell
And we're,
phone. But I do.
without a zoning administrator coming into spring.
Same thing
and
with calling
she's
out for anything like that. If you're not going to be able to make it, if
special
you're running late,
meetings
just text the office number.
to try and get somebody to do her job for her
Mhm.
instead of getting something important like the zoning administrator.
And he works from 7 a.m. and he has an hour drive
All right,
just to get to
just
work.
Where's he
keep
work?
tabs on things.
He's working
Y'all keep a check on your government.
Trying.
Look out for each other's rights.
All right.
And
Well, I mean,
Rob, see you. Thanks
but
for
more
looking
of
at
these
it.
jobs are open, and now I am hiring for a place in Temperance too.
Thank you very much. I
It's only
appreciate
like
that.
20 minutes away. I don't know how much he's making in Manheim. But it's
It
15
is
plus.
definitely not an easy thing to keep.
All right,
to keep
and they're
up,
looking for
but
both forklift drivers
we're
and
gonna,
operators. here.
keep going until we get some justice out of these people.
Tell them to give me a call.
Okay.
All right.
You know,
Like I said, anything you have any questions or
Joni
anything you
can
might
be
forget to ask,
busy
shoot me a text as soon as I'm able
making
to reply to
these
you.
backroom deals.
have a good
for
weekend
these
and, good
major
luck.
multi-million-dollar deals, but not taking care of the basic business of just being at the job. Thanks, Bethany. I guess what it is some kind of conflict between the external microphone I was trying to use. This is just the straight built-in mic on the computer. I guess for some reason the combination of the two don't work out. So don't know what to say about that. It's beyond my control. But thank you all for tuning in, and try and get y'all. I'm gonna get the video from the last couple of meetings still kind of chopped up and easier to watch sections and put up. You can watch for this great moment when a local landlord comes in complaining about who's directing and driving these changes going on in the township for expanded roles. It's great. You can see Joni Jones look over at the township attorney Seth and go, Seth, can you answer that? Why are we doing this? It was seriously like watching a ventriloquist show where the dummy turns around and says, "Why are you making me say these things?" It was unbelievable. You should, the look on Seth's face was priceless. He's like, don't ask me why I'm running the township for you in front of people. It was ridiculous. All right, y'all. I'll let you off the hook here before we even hit 12 minutes, and we'll keep you posted, keep you updated, and definitely more to come tomorrow and going forward. Maybe even yet tonight. You never know.
Who's everybody?
God bless y'all. Look out for each other. Defend each other. Fight for each other.
Do I really have nobody on YouTube? 0. Wow. Okay. Not sure what happened to my YouTubes, but 3-hour stream. I guess that's long enough. Everybody, thanks for hanging out. Suggested some poker and nobody said anything. Let's play.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take a run at that. I think she's feeling me, turn it up a few degrees. My imagination of her body gets the best of me. Oh gosh, she's such a tease, bitten lips, bruised knees. I'm addicted to her, need her touching me, cause she got a bad little waist. And we tearing down this place, off the liquor that we chase. Got some egos to the face, baby I don't need no space. Coming closer for a taste, and I'll show you how I make everything just fade away. Cause she's like sex, drugs, cocaine, body so insane. Jealous of the clothing that she wears up on a tight frame. All game, no shame, baby came here to play. I feel like an addict cause she's sex, drugs, cocaine. Got a fine little body and her mind's kinda naughty. They say that once you taste it, you cannot replace it. She could get you high, all the dopamine inside triggers fast once she's naked. Her body's a creation. They say the devil made her for his entertainment, but even he couldn't learn how to contain it. Her high heels make a damn good statement. There is no replacement, a body by Satan. Cause she got a bad little waist, and we tearing down this place. Off the liquor that we chase, got some egos to the face. Baby, I don't need no space. Coming closer for a taste, and I'll show you how I make everything just fade away. Cause she's like sex, drugs, cocaine, body so insane. Jealous of the clothing that she wears up on a tight frame.